Is this it's a little warm up exercise we have going on now?
It could be.
I mean, I guess it is. Hello, internet. Welcome to Evrand number 80, guys. 80 episodes. What a wild world we are in now, where we have reached 80 episodes. Will we hit 100? Maybe.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Well, it'll come down to how. I mean, I was gonna say how efficient you guys are, but let's be real.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, like, in theory, you could finish the campaign, but I don't think that's the case.
In theory, we could die.
That's true. I'd like to make it to 100, so let's hope for that.
Fingers crossed.
Anyway, welcome all of our fans out in the world, whether you're watching this on Twitch right now or you're watching this on YouTube later. I hope your situation is you're doing well and things are as best as they can be given these trying times. Also, aliens are real. That's a thing.
Oh.
You guys see that? The
No.
Pentagon declassified some UFO footage that was captured by the Navy in 2004 last night.
No.
So that's a thing. But here's the thing. The other
Oh.
thing about that is, because of the world we're in right now, that's like not big enough news that a lot of people know about that.
Yeah.
But it also is funny when people were like, oh my god, like January, February, March, like, oh, guess what's gonna happen in April, and now aliens are real. So who knows what May? And then I've seen a lot of funny memes in certain circles where it's just like, can't wait for July, and it's just like Independence Day ships like, rolling in. So
2020, the year that keeps on giving.
So anyway, yeah, look that up. Also, there's some weird tie with like Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. I guess he has like an aliens thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his whole organization.
Since he left Blink-182, he's been funneling a lot of his money into UFO research.
Yeah.
He was named like UFO Researcher of the Year like last year or 2 years ago or something.
So
I hear a lot of people don't actually like in the UFO community are like, he's a poser.
Interesting. Well, either way, I guess,
Hot takes on aliens right now.
Yeah.
I'm watching it actually right now.
Yeah, you're watching the footage is nuts. And like if you read the actual like the time at like how fast the craft was able to move from like point A to point B, it's something that like is far beyond the speeds that our current capabilities are, which also lends credence to that it's as extraterrestrial, or someone somewhere in the world has some crazy technology or like Iron Man suits or something and we don't know about it yet.
Ted, can I request that after this campaign, the next one has to do with alien invasion, and we all play characters that are super duper cool with it? So if the aliens do invade, we could just show them the videos and be like, no, we were going to be cool, I promise, even before we knew you were there.
Well, we can think about that. Maybe they'll do like a spin-off side series and we'll just keep that on the side to be like, oh, look, nope, this is we started a short podcast. Here it is. About aliens. Anyway, this episode, thank you for sponsoring that nonsense, Hero Forge. Our good friends at Hero Forge. Check out this cool color mini. If you backed it on Kickstarter and you filled out your backer survey, you do have access to the color creator in Hero Forge right now. So you can go and create minis. You won't have everything that you can see in this particular mini. There are certain effects like the gradient on the wings and like the flame effect on the sword and the little fox and the kind of epic looking base. Those are not in the system yet, but they will be. So you can, if you backed, you can get access to the color creator right now. And they sponsored us for the past 3 months. It was really cool. I really do appreciate that from them. And they will be sponsoring at least 2 videos coming out on YouTube, which I'm very excited for because those videos are going to have to deal with races in Dungeons & Dragons. And they gave me a mini for every race that I'm going to do a video for, which is pretty exciting.
Nice.
So I have something like 14 minis coming in the mail, which I'm pretty pumped about. So thanks again to Hero Forge. I would also like to thank the near 100 people who submitted questions for the 30K Q&A video. There's a lot there. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes of
Damn.
just me answering your questions. But there's some really good ones out there. There's some, like I said, what do you think about the name Greg, or what do you think about the name Matt, or some questions. But like if you could DM a game for any 4 people, real, dead, live, dead, imaginary, who would they be and why? That's a question that's in there, which is a pretty cool one. And also, bang, marry, kill all of the classes in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Also a good one.
Do you use the stock photo, like the class photo?
I just based it off of my thoughts on the class.
Ah, okay. So you killed the ranger.
Obviously.
I
killed
taught
him.
me the best way to phrase that, which is wed, bed, behead.
Interesting.
Going Henry VIII style. I like
Exactly.
that.
Yep.
Well, either way, I
You
killed
get
a
all
lot
of
more.
those.
I killed a lot more than I banged, and married even less. Like, I think I married like 3.
You married the paladin.
I did, and the cleric, and I think the wizard, and then I was like, nah, everything else is okay. Anyway, let's talk about this game right here, which is Evrand. This is my homebrew campaign that we've been playing for 80 episodes, as we stated at the beginning. So last time, our party got into one of the most, I guess, harrowing and spooky combats they've been a part of for quite a while, where they fought
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
a Neo-Otiug, some Deadites in a room where bodies were hanging from hooks on the ceiling, and the swarms of bones, and it got pretty tricky. And then Wildfire got possessed by Deadites, so they took her arm off at the shoulder, or at the no
Shoulder.
yeah, at the shoulder. Was it at the shoulder? Yeah.
It was the shoulder.
Yeah. They took her arm at the shoulder. So now that's a fun thing that they have to deal with. Although not even planned by me, that like I gave them a thing that would mitigate that, which wasn't planned by me that it would go this way. I was just like grabbing random shit and throwing it in there, and I was like, oh, this will be fun. And then apparently it's super useful. So
Yeah.
Having a prosthetic is
It came in
super
handy
useful.
real fast.
yeah,
handy.
yeah.
Haha.
More like army. Anyway, so they managed to defeat all of these creatures and make their way out of the final chamber into the treasure room, a room that looked eerily familiar to what they had seen way back in some of their first adventures. And there they found this strange ginger-haired wood elf, who they believe is Clyde, the person they were looking for. But she is in less than stellar shape. Her mind, she, for what they're able to gather just from like the surroundings, seems to have possibly been locked in that room for 10 years. And was alone with nothing but a dead raven as a companion, in a very
Aw.
Castaway, Newt from Aliens style vibe.
That little kid from Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, well, also that, but that's very specific. The other two are more, I guess, broad spectrum. But yes, and she's clearly out of her mind, and it seems like there's some sort of like static or some sort of damage in like the normal pathways in the brain when trying to like reach out to her via like telepathy based means. So the party was able to sack a bunch of gold and some magic items and things in a bag of holding that they found. And they left with teleport magic. They left, and now they are back in Velgard Spire.
Yes.
Yeah, yep, we just showed up and we have 36 magic items.
Yes, you do, which I was
Yes.
supposed to figure out ahead of time, and I did not, so this will be fun.
Well, we don't need to deal with all of them right now.
Well, I had a couple of thoughts about this. So this is something I did think of ahead of time, was it could go one of two ways. We can go through and sort of, over the course of this session, define what those 36 magic items are. Or we can like be like, I hope I have something for this situation, and then see what comes out of the bag.
So you're saying like we have like a bag of many or tricks, a bag of tricks, but with just fucking random magic items.
I like that. I think that's fun.
Yeah, I mean,
like
one
that
way,
too.
you know what you have. You know what you have right now. I'll come up with 36 magic items. Or you'll be like, it would be really useful if we happen to have that potion of life, elixir of life, or whatever, or something to really help us with this person and all these problems. Or like this person really wants a cool magic thing. Maybe we've got some of that. You roll, and then I'll make some rolls, and we'll see. And maybe you have the thing that you need. But if you define them all now, you might not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the mystery bag.
I
like
figured.
mystery bag.
Well,
Yeah,
I know my players, and that was my ace in the hole. If I didn't actually think of the
You didn't
36,
figure 'em out.
yeah, if I didn't figure them out ahead of time, I was like, I'll just make it seem like it's a mechanic.
Exactly.
I'm fun. It's fun. We're fun.
It's fun.
I
I'm on
like
board.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's what it'll be. Whenever you decide, you will draw. We'll make some rolls, and then we'll see what happens.
Cool.
This is your mystery mousecatool, Jake.
Oh,
Just like last time.
that's right.
All right, so that's what happens. You guys have your bag of holding, which is full to the brim. So we'll keep that in mind. It is full with gold and magic items. So it is basically useless now for the purposes of
Holding more.
holding things.
Well, can we empty all the gold out?
You can pull the gold out, handful at a time by handful at a time, which will take obviously a degree of time to do so.
But we just go down to the vault in there, and then because we don't want to take out all the items because we don't know what they are. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll just start
Yeah.
shoveling out the gold.
Okay.
Yeah, like just
Do.
show out gold.
Gosh, isn't this kind of boring when you have this much? No, it's not.
I'm pretty okay with it actually.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So let me see real quick. All right. So while you're shoveling this stuff out, I would like you to roll me. Let's see. Roll me. Let's go with 4d6.
Me?
Yes, you're the
Okay.
shoveler here. So
I'm shoveling. 16.
okay. So and then 5d6.
Okay. 15.
Okay. You are able to shovel out over the course of maybe an hour, 2 hours, 16,000 gold pieces
Whoa.
and 1,500 platinum pieces.
Oh, wow. I'm going to put that right in my notes there. So,
So
this
much
is
money.
this is the new party fund, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
You should have bought that thing in the well, now we can buy it in Waterdeep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember
What
what
were
that
you
thing.
trying to
were you trying to buy? I don't remember.
I was trying to buy a staff of defense, but then we talked about how it's not good actually.
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about that. You guys we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it, but we didn't talk about it.
We talked about it, but we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could totally get it now.
Yeah, but now I feel like I should get better stuff.
Fast reason.
You are an insatiable rascal.
Right, like wow, we could get wow.
He has so many things.
I can't even handle this right now. Okay, let's get a bunch of money and go back to the Mistra Temple and try and fix Clyde's memory. Let's focus on that. And wow.
Wave chimes in. He's like, I don't know, man. Like, we could just go back to Kingsdale and we could gamble so much on the slot machines.
I mean,
I
we'll
feel
talk
like
about what you want to do with your share.
And he's like, ha, cool.
All right.
Ride the wave, man. And he like leaves the room, but he's doing this as he leaves the room. Doesn't make any sense.
Duper.
Yep. And Ash is
Right.
like, "Why is he like this?"
I don't. We asked that a lot, actually.
Uh,
Have you met anyone else
no.
like that?
No.
we think when he drowned, he had some minor brain damage.
Yeah, the first or second time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lack of oxygen to
one
his
of those
brain.
times.
Yeah,
Huh.
Uh,
I gotta
but
explain it.
I'm still not. I'm still not clear on whether or not he could have breathed underwater at that point.
Yeah, no, I don't know either.
I
he
don't
could
get it.
have, but he held his breath long enough to cause brain damage because he didn't know.
Oh,
he could.
yeah, that makes sense. That checks out.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, let's go get
to-
Clyde and Ash. Let's go get all teleporting. Ash, your book wasn't there.
He's like, "Yeah, no, I know."
So what's like your plan now? Like, you're gonna talk to Clyde when she gets her brain back, and hope that she knows.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Cool.
What if she doesn't?
Well, shit.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe
Alright.
maybe the people at the Temple of Mistra can just like ask Mistra.
Yeah, worked
That
out
worked
last
last
time.
time. Worked
Yeah.
great.
And he says, "Ah, maybe."
Let us to you. All right. Yeah, let's go. I go fetch
Mhm.
Clyde.
Okay, you go, and she's just like, like, where did you leave Clyde? Oh, in like the.
Yeah, we left her in a bedroom,
Yeah.
in a
right? We
bed.
put her
Yeah.
to bed.
Yeah, it's like like insane person like scrawlings on the wall. She's like, drawing all sorts of symbols and shapes and things and like,
Is there anything we recognize?
you can make me a insight check.
Woohoo.
24.
Okay. You see, again, similar to kind of like the cave drawings in, back in the other room, you see like the stick figures, of the one stick figure with a really big beard, and then another stick figure, that's shorter, also with a beard and a top hat. A funky thing that might be a dragon. You're not really sure. The question mark figure with a question mark over top of its general form. There's a picture of like a really big tree. Like a mat. Like if you were gonna compare these humanoid stick figures to this tree, the tree is like 100 times bigger than they are. It's a massive tree. So like again, if we're talking like 6 feet, 600 feet,
Is there a mine of unobtainium under this tree?
You know what? You're not sure. You didn't roll an insight check.
That's right.
Let's see. Whatever else. There's like what looks like a horse on fire with like
Okay. I like this one.
with like a question mark through the horse on fire, and there's like little teardrops next to the horse on fire's face.
Oh.
You know what? When I go get her, I'm gonna go over and start pointing to some of the people. Be like, oh, he looks nice. Who's this? I'm gonna point to the weird dragon thing. Who's this? Does this guy have a name?
And she just like looks at you and like puts her arms out like wings and just like roars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his name is What about? And then I'll point to question mark man and be like, what's his name?
And she's like, I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe so many.
Okay.
So many. Couldn't keep track. So many.
Okay. What about this guy? And then I point to the big beard guy.
The taller one
The taller one with the longer beard.
Yes. And she's like, sometimes lady? Yes, lady.
Lady's got a really big beard, guys. And then last I will point to the shorter Bearded guy. What about this guy? Does he have a name?
And she
I'm
like
gonna lean
points
over
at
to Wildfire
that and
be
then like points
"She's
back at
crazy."
you, and then
Flint.
points back at it and says, "Flint, that's
Aren't we
you."
all?
When-
Me?
yes. And she
I'm
like gets
Flint.
real close up again, like uncomfortably close to you again,
Oh, okay.
and then like
Okay.
backs over to the drawing. And
Okay.
is just like scratching her head, very like monkey-esque, like
Mhm.
not holding like the whatever she's using, this piece of charcoal, like not like holding it like a quill, just kind of like grabbing it, very animalistic.
I'll say, all right, hey, Clyde, we're gonna go see someone. We're gonna go see someone at the Temple of Mistra. Does that sound fun?
And she does like this with her hands when you say Mistra.
Yeah, I do my best to mimic it poorly. Okay, yeah. Why don't you come on with us? We're gonna go see Wildfire.
Whoa.
And she's just like, she kind of will like again, like a very Tarzan-y kind of primate style, like on her knuckles will like come across the floor.
I'm gonna hold my hand out to see if she takes it.
She will, and she will kind of like monkey, like chimpanzee, sort of like walk with you while while holding your hand.
Cool.
Even though it's probably extremely uncomfortable due to her height.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you're so small,
Yeah.
and even when she's crouched, she's still bigger than you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I go meet up with everyone else.
You will. I guess you will. I will say you notice that like she does have, like her armor looks really nice. Like she does. She is wearing armor, green. Maybe it was green at one point. You can't really tell. It's pretty, just like battered, and it's seemingly in complete functional use. But it is just dirty with just the grime of maybe decades of non-use or no cleaning. And you will see she has the staff that she was carrying before, the sort of like long, almost like quarter staff style, staff that she has that has all sorts of different adornments and things on it. And you see there's like a berry, like vine kind of growing on it, and she like eats the berries, very again animalistic. Or eats one anyway. She has this seemingly green armor. And then let's see what else. She has like, I'll say you brought like a backpack of gear like with her. And she's got like all sorts of weird things in them. And Wave will have told you that she has a lot of magic stuff.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Nice.
See, she's got boots that have little wings on them.
Boots of winging. I like it.
I think it's boots of wing. It makes you easier at impromptu
Improv.
decisions.
Ooh,
I was thinking
those sound
improv
easy.
comedy.
Oh, it might be that too. Follow the fear. That's what I've heard.
Yes. Yeah. And always say no.
Never.
Never say no.
No.
Person.
Like the
Always say
most
never.
no you. Yeah, say never.
Never.
So yeah,
that was a good scene.
Yeah. Thanks.
You just did right there.
All right. Oh, we're really good at this.
so she will follow you.
All right. Are we doing actually are we doing teleport or teleportation circle? Am I going upstairs or down?
Teleport. I don't know the teleportation circle for Waterdeep.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So teleport.
All right.
All right. Here we go. And cast teleport.
Okay, you do. And where are you choosing to go?
Mistra Temple in Waterdeep.
Are you gonna go in the temple or like outside the temple?
Or out. What do you guys think?
Outside the temple, we're not savages.
Inside
Okay.
the temple, we are savages.
Outside the temple.
Okay, you appear outside the temple. Ash seems comfortable with this. Like, he doesn't like it, but he seems comfortable with the process. Clyde seems a little like taken aback, but not like overly freaked out by it. So you guys are there.
All right. I will lead Clyde inside and try and find Sister Alyssa if I can, and if not, just flag down someone.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find someone, and you're able to give the tell them who you're looking for, and eventually you're able to find Alyssa. So
All right. I'm gonna say hi.
as one does.
A lot to
Um,
work with there.
And she's just like, "Yes, hello. I think you're back again. Did you find what you were looking for when you followed the guidance of Mistra?"
We did. Mistra did us a solid, led us right to where we needed to be, and that is why we have come back. We would like to hire your services as a cleric of Mistra. We found this woman who had been what would you say, abandoned, stranded,
Isolated.
All of these words apply, in a vault for at least 10 years. And her brain seems to be staticky when I try to talk to her in it. So we were hoping you could do some kind of greater restoration or remove curse here to help her brain be less bad.
Yep.
Couldn't have explained it better myself.
Thank you,
Okay.
Wildfire.
Welcome, Oz.
That being said, we would definitely be willing to hire your services in the form of a donation to the temple.
In magic items or cash money.
She will look at you, and she says like, "Yes, of course." And she will come over, and she'll start to you'll lead her over to Clyde. And there's like a moment where she's given pause when she looks at Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like there's almost recognition there. And she's just like, there seems to be some sort of innate like, I'm a cleric and I want to do the right thing, so I should help this person, but like I have some sort of like, I also have issues in a way with this person.
Oz is just gonna ask, Alyssa, is there a problem?
And she says no. If this is this, and she will be like looking at Clyde, who's kind of like dodging around a little bit, and she's like, "No, I believe this is Clyde. I've met her once before. Her and her associates teleported a dragon carcass into the teleportation circle of our temple without warning, and the entire place was filled with dragon blood and guts and viscera, and it took forever to clean."
Oh, wow.
Did they clean it up?
I honestly don't remember if you did. I don't think you did.
Flint did.
Flint did.
Flint did a lot of prestidigitation
Okay.
mending.
Okay, all right.
He did many a cantrip to clean that up.
And she's like, "Well, one of them he definitely helped, but a warning would have been nice. Like, hey, we're gonna bring a dragon's body into your temple."
How
They just
incredibly
did.
inconsiderate.
Yeah, you would. Yes, quite so.
Oz gives Wildfire a quick glance and is like, "Yeah, you should never teleport into someone's place without asking them first, especially with a dragon."
That would be super rude.
That would be very rude.
Yeah.
Good at that.
I mean, the biggest thing we've teleported at anything was a Triceratops, and that's
Exactly.
hardly the size of a dragon.
And it wasn't
Also,
bleeding all over the place.
it was into our own place. We owned the place and we teleported it.
Oh yeah, so no one minded.
Yeah.
Exactly. We gave ourselves permission.
Sorry, we're getting off on a tangent. This isn't about us. Sorry, sister. I keep on saying sister. Sorry, Alyssa. Wait, I don't. Yeah, she's the key to our friend here, and I'll point over to Ash. Being able to get
waves the
home.
chainsaw.
No. Yeah, her brain holds the key to getting him home. So if you wouldn't mind looking past your past.
And she's just like, no, I owe a duty to Mistra, and one of her associates was, at least in some form, chosen by Mistra. Why, I'll never understand.
Ah,
The
gods,
most
right?
undwarfly dwarf I've ever met.
Hmm.
Is
I
that
don't like him.
wait? What was he like then? If he wasn't like a dwarf, was he
You
like
know
a-
what? I like a just like generic dude.
All right.
What?
Wow.
He sounds like a real piece of shit.
Undwarfly. God. Yeah.
No,
that's
not
terrible.
necessarily a piece of shit. Just like, if you were talking to him and you didn't see what he looked like, you wouldn't be able to pin a race on him, or like any. He was very nondescript in a lot of ways.
Okay. See, at first he sounded like a maverick, like he's breaking all the rules, and then you said nondescript, so he's the opposite of that.
He's like a blank sheet.
Yeah, he's like stale bread.
He's like one of
Oh, I
those.
was gonna say dry
guys.
toast.
Yeah, dry. Well, kind of similar textures.
And she's like, anyway, yes, let me see what I can do for Clyde. And
How
she
far
will-
away is Nona's from here?
It's maybe like a 5-10 minute walk.
I leave. I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay, you do.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going?
The
Well, I
fuck?
gotta get some food.
Are you gonna go gamble?
No, I quit gambling after I
Mm,
died the first time.
Yeah, that's actually that checks out.
Yeah, all right. All right. Go get
All
some
right.
food.
Okay,
Alright.
Wave, go
Bring
Yeah.
something back for us.
look for Gorm.
Okay.
And he's like, whoa. And he's like looking underneath a pew, like in the church. He's like, Gorm? Gormy.
Come on, Wave. Maybe he's by the docks.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah.
Come on, Wave. Let's go. Come
And
on.
he's just like, I mean, all right, sure. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been down this road before.
You've already ridden this wave.
Oh, that's way better. I should have said that.
Yeah.
And then he like he hangs his head and he walks out of the temple.
Maybe this is just a low tide.
And he's just like, oh my god, everybody's doing my thing. Anyway, so he leaves with Rick to go to Nona's. And Alyssa sits Clyde down like in a chair, and she kind of has like there's a table between them, and she sits down in the other chair, and she kind of like rolls out a piece of like fabric that has like a set of different kinds of tools, and you'll see things like a censer and different like scoops and a mortar pestle and different herbs and things like that. And she begins to pull things together and start lighting incense and doing all these different things to cast a spell. And she kind of seems to have gotten all the preparations ready, and like Clyde is looking to you, Oz, like for assurance that this isn't like a bad thing.
Yeah, and I'll try and be like, it's okay. I'm right here. It's gonna be okay.
And she nods, and she Alyssa continues, and she kind of like basically like makes like a paste like on her hands, and she like reaches out towards Clyde, who like recoils a little bit, and she kind of says some assuring words, and then like kind of like smears the almost very like symbol like smears the like across her forehead, and like puts her hands on either side of Clyde's head, kind of like grasping it, and begins to mutter some words. And you can see there's like a stirring of like wind in the temple, and like little particles of dust and things are swirling around, and you can see them in the light that's coming through the stained glass windows.
At that point, I'm gonna lean over to Wildfire and just go, "So, Mistra."
Totally.
And she continues to mutter some words, and you can see there's like Clyde is kind of like shaking and almost like recoiling as this is happening. And then like you do see like it seems like this shouldn't be anything that's like too difficult for someone who's seemingly as high level as you would think Alyssa to be.
Yeah.
And she you start to see like she's kind of like straining a little bit, like she's trying to like push through something, and you can see beads of sweat start to run down, her forehead as she's struggling with this. And this process probably takes about an hour
Oh shit.
or so. And
come back with soup.
you Wave and Rick return.
Well, thanks, Rick.
And Wave's like, he wasn't by the docks.
You check your backpack? Oh no, he's back at Valgard Spire.
He's
Silly
like,
us.
oh.
Of course.
We forgot.
You
How very
guys.
And then I'm gonna fill them up. I mean, like, guys, this looks like it's not going well for Alyssa. Like,
I don't
she's
know.
having a minute.
Is there anything we could do to help?
I think it's just her and her god at this point.
Who we?
I mean, none of us are really god people, so.
Not
What?
particularly.
No, I love Morden. Also, I was a god.
That's true.
And Wave's like,
Well-
whoa, bro. The Trinity.
Yeah, that's true too.
Okay.
He rolls religion.
Well, Alyssa just rolled a 1 on her percentile
Ooh.
roll.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the lowest you could possibly roll.
Wow.
That's what I rolled.
I know.
Mystra giveth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yep. So
Mighty Mistra.
she and like her chanting kind of intensifies, and the swirling of the dust particles, the light grows and grows, and it's sort of like does like a flashbang, and like everything kind of is blown back, and it's not like an intense concussive force, but you guys are all kind of like rocked back maybe on your heels a little bit from the expelling of the force from this. And then as the light subsides around her, you can see she kind of like is pulling her hands away, and like Alyssa is glowing a little bit, and like her hair like slowly, like it was kind of like pushed back, and it starts to like return back to normal. And like you can see like Clyde is kind of like shaking her head a little bit, like shaking off the cobwebs, and like trying to like figure out what's going on. And Alyssa just kind of like sits back in the chair and collapses essentially into the chair, and heavy breathing.
Soup?
And she's just like, yeah, no soup. And she will take some soup from you. And Clyde is just like,
Hey, bud. How you feeling?
Are you all right?
Would you like some soup?
and she's like, yeah, soup
Very
would be great.
Oh wow!
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Boy.
Oh boy.
Clyde.
Yes.
I'm Oz. This is Wildfire, Wave,
Hello
Ash,
there.
and Rick the Brick.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that was something. I don't really know. Oh boy.
All right. Don't
yeah,
rush
take
yourself.
your
We got some
time.
questions for you. Enjoy your soup. I'm gonna go work out some stuff with Alyssa real quick. Just take a breather. You've been through it. You've had a minute.
Get your bearings.
And she kind of like is breathing and taking in her surroundings, and she's like, you see her like take off her like her backpack, and she's checking through things that are inside there, and like checking her bearings and seeing what kind of stuff
Smelling
she
herself
has.
a little.
Yeah. Pouring herself a
Yeah.
nice
Then I'm
whiff.
gonna go over to Alyssa and be like, so that didn't seem typical.
And she says, no, there's something there. And she says, I'm not entirely sure I was able to break through every barrier that was there. There's definitely something very powerful. I don't think it was one singular force. Did something to block, to alter a section of her memory.
Okay.
And I managed to break down as many barriers as I could, but there just seems to be something more there, possibly.
Okay. Well, thank you for everything you've done. We would like to make a sizable donation. What tithing would you say is appropriate for your surprisingly harrowing event.
Let's find out here. Let's look up some spells here. See what kind of things we might need. I'll tell you in 1 second. What do we got here? So that's what, a minimum 100 gold pieces for that. That's so wild. This makes no sense. It's just interesting to me that like Greater Restoration costs gold to do it, and it just removes like certain conditions. But like the heal spell will heal you 70 hit points and also remove several conditions, and doesn't require any material components at all. Interesting world that we
Maybe
live in.
fewer classes have access to heal, and that's how they kind of
Maybe.
justify it.
Yeah, it's just the cleric and the druid, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every condition, right? It's blindness, deafness, and any disease.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
So yeah.
So I was thinking about for payment for Alyssa,
Mhm.
trying to see if there are some Mistran cleric stuff magic items in the
Oh, okay.
thing.
All right.
What does the rest of the team think?
I don't know, but the Adventure League Dungeon Master Guide says that a Greater Restoration spell is listed at 450 gold.
Yeah. This was a little bit more difficult than that, so we'll call it like we're gonna call it like an even. We'll just call it an even 1,000
All right.
to get
I think
past
that
her her prejudice.
I think that sounds fair. A little steep, but fair.
Tough
What
but
do you think?
fair.
Magic stuff or just money?
Oh.
You know what? I think we have enough money. We could just give her the money.
I think that I like having magic stuff.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm hanging out with somebody that I never remembered.
I'm gonna give her the 1,000 gold, and then as an additional thank you, I'm gonna give her the smoldering studded leather armor that I got out of the thing, and just be like, and as an extra little thank you, here is some magical armor for any acolytes or patrons of Mistra to help them on their way.
And she says, well, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully you're able to find what you are looking for. With now that her memory has been restored.
Fingers crossed. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes.
She says, you as well, and she sits back down, relaxes, eats her soup.
All right, then I'm gonna go back over to Clyde and be like, hey, Clyde, couple quick questions if you're done with your soup.
And she's like, yeah, sure.
All right, so our friend Ash here.
And he's
Ash
just
says
like, yeah, Ash says hi.
Is looking for a certain book.
And you see like her eyes go like real wide.
Yeah, and we're trying to. So this is gonna sound really weird. The four of us got a prophecy to travel between several dimensions and recruit very specific people for some kind of combative force that you may or may not be a part of. But Mistra the goddess took us to him in order to get to you. So I feel like you gotta have to figure this shit out so you can join our super team. What I see what you're doing. You're thinking about it. What I need you to do, don't think about it.
She's still thinking about it.
And she's like, wait. She's like, hang on. You mean to tell me that you guys were given some sort of mission and or goal and you just went and started doing it?
Yeah.
Like immediately. Like you didn't just
we waited like a day to get our
like
supplies.
dick around for months and like just put it all off entirely.
No, that sounds incredibly irresponsible.
No,
Sounds like
no.
such a
She's like, no, I mean, I she said that's
the
typically.
world was at stake. We just
No, that's, I mean, she's like, I still don't understand your logic, but that's fair. It's interesting to meet new people.
Okay,
See,
well,
we already did all of our side quests
yeah, we got
Yeah.
them out of the
before
way.
we started the main quest.
And actually, why don't we do this? Since that seems so foreign to you, why don't we'll do this as an example? We'll go take care of that book thing now, and you can see how much further we get.
Also, do you remember this book? It's
Yeah,
called the
also-
Necronomicon.
And do you know where you might have left it?
I know it's a lot all at once.
She's like, yeah, I'm starting to get all of my memories back. Some of them anyway.
Do you know how you lost them in the first place? Is that one of the ones you got back?
Somewhat, yes. I went home, and then everything kind of gets a little fuzzy after I went home.
You went home with the book.
No, I lost the book here like years and years ago. It's like one of the first things I did when I got here was I lost that book.
Wait, where's home?
There,
Mm-hmm.
Where's there?
not here.
Oh,
What is that?
well, yeah.
What
Oh.
does that mean? Is that, guys? That must be a thing in this world. We're not from this world, so that
Right,
And
you
then-
We've never
probably
been
maybe
there.
you're from there, but I'm not from here. I'm from there.
no, we're
Right.
from Evrand. Unless
We're from
Evrand's
Evrand.
there.
And she's just like,
Is there a different dimension?
well, no, it's just not here.
Seems like this conversation's kind of in limbo.
Oh man, it seemed so. Wait, she's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
What did you just say? Do you know what limbo is?
Limbo is like a concept.
Wait.
as it-
You've actually heard of this place? This concept thing? Is it like volcanoes and oceans and stuff?
No,
No.
it's just
No,
it's
it's more of a
uncertainty. It's like
Oh.
like
yeah,
a
it's less of a
waiting area.
physical place.
Yeah, it's more like neither here nor there. You're in limbo.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like an in between. It's like walking down a hallway between two different rooms, but you don't know where either of the rooms are.
Yeah,
That makes
never-ending hallway.
still doesn't make any sense, and I don't know how you could be from that place, but
I don't know how you could be from there and not be able to explain that better.
you know, it never came up.
Ah. All right.
Oh,
Well, we're asking
wow.
the hard questions.
Okay. Yeah, you're okay. Wait, perchance, are there undead abelisks there?
And she's just like, she's like, maybe I don't know if there were undead abelisks there.
Because actually, when we first started adventuring with Rick, he had lost most of his memory too. And we just got it back. We had to kill the undead aboleth that took it and maybe made a clone of him. Oh, definitely made a clone of him, but he might be the clone. He might not, though. He's probably not. We think he's probably not.
Well, regardless
I
of
am a
whether
good
he is
cook,
or he's
though.
not, he's our Rick.
He's an excellent
And
cook.
he cooks a lot for us, and he's yummy.
And she's
Did you
like,
say he's yummy?
No, I said he cooks for
Yeah.
us.
that's what I heard.
I heard he cooks for us and he's
Yeah.
yummy.
It's yummy. I mean, he might be yummy, but he smells weird. So who would really want to try?
Yeah, like an onion wrapped in a foot.
That's
Well.
sweated a lot?
Yeah.
Before this felt like a compliment.
No, you're thinking about it. Don't think about
Don't
it.
think about it.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
think about it.
I feel better. Actually, I take my helmet off.
Okay, you do.
Cool.
Take your helmet off.
Not-
You're not
smart.
deattuned from it when you take
Oh,
the
okay.
helmet off. It takes an hour process to deattune from the item.
How far away from it can I be before? I lose the effect?
It's I forget. I don't know if there's actually a rule on how far you can be. I think it's just the time
Oh.
and choosing to deattune from something.
Ah.
So
I could
anyway,
totally do Bibliosoft then.
she's like, so there, it's not really like here.
I'm already bored. Let's move on. Let's go back to the book.
And she's
Yeah,
like,
the
see, every
The
time I
book's
ever
here."
told people about that, they just thought it was whimsical and fun. And now you guys just seem really annoyed by it. You
Yeah,
must
that's
not.
why I'm trying to
You
move
must not be from here because everybody from here thought it was super cute and silly.
What about the people from there? I'm kidding. I don't care. What about this book?
Oz, you were so nice to her.
I
You
know,
were so
I
nice to
know.
her. And
I
now
know.
you're being rude.
And she's like,
I'm
yeah, I
sorry.
feel like you were just nice to me to get my brain fixed, and now you're just being so mean.
I mean,
And I
I
smack him
don't-
in the head.
I'm sorry. I'm
Don't be rude to her. She just got
I'm-
her memory back. She's been through a lot today.
I'm trying to say I'm trying to apologize. I'm sorry. It's I lose my temper sometimes, and I'm working on it. But yeah, we're just trying to save all the worlds. I
So
don't know
about
why
this book.
that has me stressed out.
That's fair.
Oh, she's like, just don't worry about it. Me and my friends, we were supposed to do that, and we just ignored it, and everything turned out fine.
I'm going to say, now, would you describe your friends as, and then go through all of the descriptors in the prophecy? Be like, would you say that your friends are champions of heart and stone, lost before their time, maybe a minstrel from a similar place who maybe penned a rhyme, a knight of bone from times gone old, never called to action, or a hero of light who fell in battle for choosing the wrong faction? How about a lazy combatant hailing from a land that no one knows, or an acolyte of death who was once a feast for crows, or maybe a dragon? Do you know? Does that sound like anyone you know?
And she says, wow, that was a lot of information. And
Yeah.
like, you guys are okay.
You seem like a smart gal.
She says, oh, I'm not the dumbest. So
We never thought you were.
she says, so she says, yeah, I don't really let me think. And she says, you know, when I look at some of these, they might sound somewhat similar, but like I don't really know if they all if they're 100% to she goes, I know a guy who really likes dragons, and I can turn into a dragon.
Oh.
Oh no, we think you're this other one.
Oh, okay.
We think that you're a champion from a woodland realm who lost a powerful book.
Oh, that does sound like me, huh?
So we're gonna have to find that book.
Right.
Yeah, so if you could just tell me
About
where you left
that.
that book, that would be great.
See, so I had that book when I was there. Then I came here. And then
Use
I-
the book to come here?
Yeah. And then I made some friends, and then we went to a cabin, and then the book did some things, and then all of my friends died, and then I left, and then I met new friends.
Ah.
What happened to the new ones?
I don't know. I've been gone for a long time.
Ah.
Okay.
I tried to go back home to there, and then shortly after that, I lost my memory, and then you found me wherever I was.
You were in a cabin in the misty forest.
Well, in a dungeon, other vault thing in the cabin.
Right, to a
You weren't
weird
technically in the
eight-armed
cabin.
monkey god.
Yeah.
That
Might have
doesn't-
been another dimension or plane of existence. Not entirely sure.
Huh. Well, I mean, a cabin and in a forest that's misty sounds like, you know, where I lost the book the first time.
Okay.
Ah.
So there's that.
So it might still be in the cabin. To be fair, we did not search that cabin fully. We went to a couple of rooms and then we got sucked into the weird temple place, and then that was it.
No, I thought
Yeah.
we searched the whole place first, because we were downstairs. We had done the whole first floor, and we were down in the basement when we heard Wave
Playing the piano.
upstairs.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
So I think we searched that whole. Yeah, because we have, and then I'll actually pull out the paper that we have, the map with all the crosses on it. Does this look something like you might have done? Is this familiar? Is this your handwriting?
Remind me what this map was? Sorry.
It was a map of Faerun, and I think it had
It had this like the X's and stuff on it, saying like not here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, and a bunch
And
of
like,
towns were crossed out.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she says, yeah, this was, this is my map. Yeah, I was trying to find my friends. And I don't know where they are. I came back, I went home, and then I came back here. And then I was trying to find my friends, and I couldn't. But it was really hard to remember things when I came back. And then somehow, I guess I ended up wherever I ended up, and you found me.
Would your friends still be alive today? Like, do they live that long? 'Cause, like-
Yeah, they should be. I hope.
How long ago did you leave them?
And she says, "Well, that's I'm not entirely sure either. So we were, doing our thing, being just plucky adventurers, ignoring blatant hints and just going on and doing our own thing. And then I just left. Like I was there one day and then I just left the next day without warning. Didn't really tell them goodbye. I just kind of left.
Okay.
And then I went home, and then I was home for a little while. And then I was just like, oh, and then she's like trying to, like, it seems like it mentally pains her to like think too hard about when she was home.
Okay.
And she's like, and then I ran, I left. I can't remember something, and then I ran from home to come back here, and then all I could think about was trying to find my friends. So I started going where I knew we were or had been, and no one had seen them. And she tells you that she thinks that this was like at least 30 years ago.
Oh, good.
Damn.
Oh, that won't be hard to follow.
Pick up that trail somewhere. Actually, yeah. Okay. Well, again, we got first things first. So you said when you lost the book, it was in the cabin. The cabin was there?
No, the cabin was here.
Okay.
There might have been a cabin there.
Okay. So
Actually, I think there was a cabin there. I think that's where I found the book.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And you lost it in a cabin here.
Yeah.
So you've been to 2 different cabins.
Yeah.
Okay. Took the
Mhm.
book from one, lost it in the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Ash, wild card. What if we go to the cabin in our world?
And he's just like, sure.
Maybe it's there. Not like they're there, but like are there.
Yeah.
Because we searched where she left it and we didn't
Lowercase
find
t
it.
there.
And there was no clues, there were no tracks. We didn't see any sign that someone else had been there and taken it.
Yeah, he's running through his his thoughts about like how thoroughly everybody checked that place to like think about like did you guys miss anything?
I will ask Clyde, do you remember where you left it? Did you hide it?
And she will make a roll. Natural
Got it.
20.
Oh, never mind.
Woo! Wait, that's not Clyde.
Hang on, let me roll again. Oh, 7. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
7. She will think on it a little bit. And she'll say, I think I hid it in the shed.
Fuck.
Hmm.
We didn't go in the shed.
And Ash goes, work shed, but he doesn't actually say it. It's just like an 80-yard line.
Okay.
All right.
And Ash is like, he like hits himself in the head with the chainsaw, and he's just like,
Oh, ow.
All
Well,
right.
So,
Wildfire, you could teleport twice in a day, right?
I thought it was only once.
Nope, only once.
Fuck.
And he's like, well, we can do that trip again. Or maybe we can you do it again tomorrow?
Here's
I
my
can do
thought.
it again tomorrow.
Here's my thought.
I also have one after you.
We teleport to the cabin, and we make sure we have chalk to teleportation circle back home.
And I should draw that circle before
We go in
we
the
go
shed.
in the cabin so that when we need to bug out, we can literally just go.
That's a better idea than my idea. My idea
Yeah.
was going to be like, we'll have to cover you while you draw it.
Yeah, so it's we'll see what happens once you get there. I'll let you know. It's a funky mechanical thing the way 5th edition works with teleportation circle, because like in theory, you like when you start doing the circle, you start casting the spell. Like you can't the way it's written, you're not supposed to be able to like prep the circle ahead of time, take the minute, and then like dot the last T and then like they were out, like that's not
Yeah,
how
makes
it's
sense.
meant to work.
That makes sense.
But we'll see what happens when you get there. It's definitely, I think,
It could be how it works.
it could be, but it's definitely a cooler time-based horde defense mission if one of your people has to work on doing the circle and everybody else has to stop
fair.
them from being interrupted. That's a
Yeah.
much cooler concept. So I think I just answered my own question.
I
So
think so. I think you did.
Wait, here is a thought. Your arcane recovery thing, Celine.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's a level cap. Can you turn? Do you have enough sorcery points to get what is teleportation? A 6th level spell?
7th.
yeah, no, I don't think it can go. I think it caps at 5.
But because I
Trying
was
to
gonna
get
say
to look
we
at
could
it.
have that as a bug out plan.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, and I think the only spell gems we have are 3rd or 4th, or 2nd or 3rd level.
Ted, where do I find that on the? Never
I think
mind.
it's called like
Flexible
sword.
casting.
No, oh yeah, flexible casting. Yep.
Yeah, 5 points or 7 points for a 5th level spell.
Okay.
Okay.
And Clyde says, well, it's been a long time since I've done any kind of magic.
Oh, you did turn into a hedgehog while we were in
And
the
apparently
cavern.
A dragon is something. you can do.
But she says I can try and see. I used to be able to do this thing where I can step into a tree in one place and come out in a tree in another place.
Oh, that's
wow.
what she was muttering about trees down in the vault.
You're saying no trees.
Yeah, there's no trees here.
So I might be able to, if we want to try it, I can see if I can do that. If we can find a tree near here, I can give that a shot and see if it'll work. Then maybe if this is a cabin in the woods, it seems like that should work.
Why don't we teleportation circle back to Veilguard Spire,
Okay.
and then we can test it out there. We'll just pick 2 different trees on a different side of the tower. You can try and teleport, and then you can. What do you have to mark the tree so you can use it later or something?
No, I just need to, be near the tree.
Okay, so yeah, then you.
I have to have seen it or touched
tree.
it.
Oh, so it
Yeah,
just
we'll
has
get
to
it-
be
we'll-
a tree you like
Yeah, pretty much.
your
All right,
favorite
fine. Yeah,
tree.
we can get you we'll get you a tree by the tower.
Yeah, we'll find you a tree. It'll be
Okay.
Clyde's tree.
A nice tree, not too cheap.
But real quick, while we are in town, I will suggest to Rick. Hey, Rick, while we're in town, why don't you
I'm
get
all
like?
rationed up. What's up?
I was gonna say, why don't you try and get like a hammer, in case, because this is twice now that we've been attacked by skeletons, and like, it seems like you gotta smash those guys, and I can't smash things because I'm so little. So,
He's so
do you
little.
wanna try and get like a
Yeah,
maul
small.
or something?
Yeah, maybe there's a mall around here.
You son of a bitch.
I was about to say that.
I do enjoy humor.
You punny
Pun-based
bastard.
humor. Yep. Here we go. Sure. And Wave's like, sure.
And he's just like,
Shut up.
yeah.
Wait. I think Wave has a +1 crab claw hammer.
He does.
So like you could just wield that two-handed in a
that,
pinch,
yeah.
and then it still does a D10.
Yeah, I want a big one though.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, just as a reference, I don't know if he has it on his character sheet, but that crits on a 19 or 20.
The crab claw
The
hammer.
crab claw hammer, yeah.
Now, does that compound with my butcher's bib?
Which does what?
Lets me crit on a 19 or 20?
Then yeah, I guess it would. It would be 18, 19, or 20.
Ooh, all right. Never mind. I like this.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah, so it is a +1 warhammer, basically.
All right,
That crits
I'll
on a
just-
19 or 20.
Borrow that.
See, it's a crab hammer. And for those of you who know anything about crab hammer has an increased critical hit range.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's true.
So that's why that's there.
that's the thing.
So yeah, she says, let me Clyde says, well, let me go. She like walks off to go find a tree. And
Oh,
she's
alright,
like,
cool.
she's like, maybe I'm gonna say you guys. Well, you will say you guys go back to Veilguard Spire. I
Yeah.
assume
Right.
teleportation circle back. And then she's like trying to like basically figure out what all of her like retest all of her magics.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you see like before she does that, she's like doing things and like the like wind and like flowers and like a little fireball in her hand and a little
Big
clap
fireball.
little clap of thunder, and then she like throws a knife made out of ice and it shatters against a wall, and then she conjures a ball of fire and summons like a storm and lightning bolts from the sky,
Ooh.
and then like summons a wave of water that like tidal waves out and waves like ah, that's cool.
Maybe you could probably ride that.
She's the avatar.
And she
Like an avatar.
summons a
Don't worry about
wall made out of fire.
Yeah.
And then a wall made out of thorns, and then harnesses the sun in her hand to shoot beams of sunlight energy. Creates a big whirlwind. All sorts of stuff. Basically, we're going through every spell slot we've got, pretty much. Except for, I lied, she doesn't do the sunbeam, because she only has 1 6th level spell slot. So, and then she will go to a tree, and she'll like go, like you'll see her like walk off near like a foresty-ish area, and like walk over to one tree, and then like walk over to another tree, and put her hand on the tree, and you watch as the tree like splits open like a doorway, and she steps through that tree and comes out the other tree.
Uh-huh.
Woo!
And she's like, well, apparently it works.
All right, let's
Well, she just
Right.
used a lot of her spells.
what?
So does she need to like rest?
You need to rest.
Yeah.
You can't get us there until tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's true.
I know.
Right.
Good
So,
job, Oz. You're right.
yeah, thanks. So why don't we kind of take the rest of the day, relax, prep for tomorrow. It might suck a lot.
Yep. I'm gonna
Yep.
say it probably will.
So the plan I'm going to recommend is I have a 3-pronged approach. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's 4-prong if you count teleport in. So prong 1, Ember, you teleport us in.
Right.
Sorry, Wildfire, you teleport us in. Prong
Okay.
2, Rick, you run through the shed door.
All right. I like it.
Prong 3, I run in with my tiny fast little feet and I find the book.
All right.
4, Clyde, point to a tree, and then we all get the fuck out of there before anything tries to kill us.
All right.
That's a
And
good.
the,
I
the
think that's a good
handle of our prongs, like making it like a quadrant, is gonna be Ash, and you kill anything that tries to stop us from doing the rest of the plan.
That is a great addendum, and Wave, you help Ash the best you can.
What
He's
should
a-
I do once we get there?
Light
Get
shit on
ready
fire.
to leave.
Okay, I'll go with
Both of
Clyde and
them.
protect her. She doesn't seem to need protection.
Well,
She
I mean,
might.
you can
She
help
might help.
her. Everybody
help
needs
her.
help.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Wow, this seems like a good plan. I'm gonna go make some chicken pot pie for dinner.
That
Thanks.
sounds delightful, Rick.
I'm gonna go somewhere else and put in a couple hours working on some poisons.
Nice.
Okay, you do that.
Can we have Ash tell us a nice, like, I don't know, 10, 15-minute story about how great we all are?
Sure, we can say that, and you guys will all get the benefits of his inspiring leader feat. So that is
Look at this.
let me get you
21 temporary.
yeah,
hit
21
points.
temporary hit points.
Oh, nice.
Yay! Ah, he has such a way with words.
That was nice.
I feel inspired.
You don't like
Shut
this?
up, you're crying.
Go on home. Run home to mama. But as for me, I'm through running. And he just goes on from there. I'm not gonna do a whole monologue. But yes. And then you guys all get the 21 temporary hit points.
All
Woo!
right.
How would you guys feel at this point of taking a quick coffee break? This seems like a good we rest until tomorrow breaking point.
I could do that, yeah. I have to
I think
pee.
that works. All right.
I have to pee too.
So internet, we will be right back. Oh, wow, everybody's got the same bladder. What do you know?
You've trained us, Ted.
No, yeah, I have.
Exactly. We're used to the one break.
All right, we will be right back, folks. Oh man, thank you, LB. Celine, you get a trinket.
Ooh.
Let's
Thank
see.
you.
We got so many trinkets last game on Wednesday. Like there was at
Okay.
least 10 trinkets were donated between the four of
Nice.
us.
Wow,
And
nice.
we got some really, really good ones there. Celine, I need you to roll me a D29, I guess. Yeah, I need to make more because I'm starting to like with 2 wizards in the party, we're starting to like clear out that list.
Ten.
10. Oh, your body already acts like a dry erase board. We need something else.
Yeah.
Here, we need to figure out our plan.
13.
Come here, Wildfire.
You already can pull the chair out of thin air, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yes. That sounds familiar. I think I do have it.
She's
I think
just
I
never
got it
done
recently.
it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. Before we did the last long rest, I resummoned Owl,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I presume that Wildfire resummoned Burb.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
presumptuous.
it is a small folding chair that you can pull out of thin air. Is
Okay.
that one? But I thought you already had that
Yeah,
one
I
too.
think I already do. It sounds super familiar. That's the
All
only
right, so
reason
then
why.
we'll just say you have it. Roll again.
All right. 22.
Ah, this is a very Celine magic item. It is a grapevine.
Okay.
The owner of this grapevine can make all raisins look like chocolate.
I have this one.
You have this one too?
That
My
was like one
gosh.
of the first ones I got.
All right, roll again. God damn it, Celine.
I'm sorry. I've collected a lot of trinkets over the last 2 years.
We have more than that, I think.
18.
A bag of delicious candies that look like dead insects.
Oh, okay. That's a new one.
Okay.
Mm.
Delightful.
Thank you, LB.
Sorry it took so long.
That's okay. So at the end of everybody's long rest, before you set out in the morning, Clyde comes and joins all of you and says, "Hey, so I just went through all of my stuff. I have a lot of magic stuff.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
So do we.
Yeah, but I think I have more, and more than I can use.
Mm.
Okay. Like
just-
what do you
So,
got?
so, and Celine, we can confer this real quick. I know obviously she would be attuned to the armor and the staff.
Yeah.
Those would be the 2 big ones. And then you have your 3rd attunement slot. And she has several items from the list of what I remember and from what you had sent me. Oh, she makes herself a pot of coffee in the morning and drinks from it and gives herself inspiration in the morning, first of all.
Oh,
that's
that's a
the
good
thing
thing to
that
have.
she could do.
Delicious.
Yep.
you had and then she's like, does anybody want cake? And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a chocolate cake from her pocket,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is also how she stayed alive.
Oh, I assumed it was just good berries.
Yeah, good berry
assumed
and then also chocolate cake.
It's
It
not
sounds
a
like the
bad
perfect diet.
existence.
Yeah, exactly. So she pulls that out and eats
Coffee, good berries, and cake.
Cake.
that. Yep. So she then like you have the Wand of Wonder.
Yeah, I do.
You have winged.
That's
You
attunement?
yeah. So you have Wand of Wonder. You have winged boots. You had a Ring of Protection.
Oh wow.
So she would have been attuned to one of those.
No,
I'm
odds
gonna
you
say
should get those boots.
And then she also had,
Nice
some
little
of the
bag.
non-attunement magic items that I had given out. She had the Spider Infinity Ring, which I
yeah,
think
she had a couple of
which
infinity.
made you immune to surprise. I think I thought Theron had
I
that.
thought there was something about spider climb.
Maybe I don't remember. I will have to look up with the spider. And then you had the Infinity Ring that glows in the dark. You
Yeah,
had
it's the
several
flashlight
of the
ring.
mundane stuff that I had given out, like that you had bought, like the smoke sticks and the blinding pellets and things like that.
Yeah.
She had.
Didn't she have the black spiders staff?
No,
No.
Ranrak had that.
Ranrak had that.
Oh yeah, damn, that's right.
And then she
So
had the
good.
Lucky Charms, the necklace of Lucky Charms, that
Mhm.
gave you different things. She had a mirror image, divine favor, rope trick, and cure wounds were the charms left on that. She had the gem that let you shoot color spray once a day. But none of those are attunement. And then she had the bracers that give it 1 extra damage, or she heals 2 HP when she crits. But yeah, so right now, would she be attuned? She has the Ring of Protection, the Wand of Wonder, and the Winged Boots.
What does the ring of protection do again?
+1 armor class, +1 to all saving throws.
Mm.
Because I'm trying to work back into the stats that you sent me, and I'm like, some of these don't add up, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, yeah. Look, trying to make sense of that at this point. I don't know what any of it means.
Well, I mean, a lot of it does. The only thing I can't make sense of is the armor class is the only one that I can't make sense of, which isn't. I mean, it's only 2 off, and one of that could be the Ring of Protection. But it's like, were
feel
you might have unattuned from the Ring of Protection, but didn't adjust the AC,
Did
which is
Clyde
entirely.
have a
Probably.
shield?
Clyde did have a shield, but Clyde's at a 20 armor class with the shield.
Ooh, pretty good.
Well, she's got +3
She's probably
scale mail, or hide armor rather.
as much as like mechanically I want the ring because it's good. I feel like Clyde as a character would be attuned to the Wand of Wonder.
Okay, well, we're attuning Clyde to the Wand of Wonder. So she will tell you that she's like, I've got these boots that I've just been wearing them as boots.
I will take those boots if you don't mind.
And she's like, and it's just, these are mine. I just want you all to know that, but I will lend them
he likes
to you.
wearing other people's footwear.
Actually, yeah, these are his slippers.
Yeah,
And then she says, and I've got this ring, ring of
ah,
protection. And she goes, I forgot that I had this, but like one of my friends got a better one and didn't need it. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out what looks like a wrestling belt, but it's a belt of fire giant strength. Because if you recall, Dwayna had one, and then she got a better one, and then basically downtraded. So Clyde ended up with this one, and Theron had the belt of Cloud Giant Strength, and Dwayna got a belt of Storm Giant Strength.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
So this one will set your armor or your strength to 25.
Cedric.
Yes, Oz.
What do you think about putting on that belt?
See, here's the
I feel
thing.
like it would suit your look there, Rick.
Tell me, well, so what are you attuned to right now, Rick?
That is the whole thing about that. Currently, I have my helmet. I know. Everybody says about the helmet.
No, I like the helmet.
I do. I like the helmet. I have also. Let's see what my
The axe and the
equipment
butcher's
looks
thing.
like. Yeah, the axe and the butcher's bib.
Yep.
And what did the butcher's bib do?
The butcher's bib. Once per turn, when you roll damage for a melee attack with a weapon, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice. And your weapons that attack dealing slash damage score a critical hit on a 19 or 20 on the d20.
Oh, so it wouldn't work with the hammer because the hammer is a bludgeoning weapon.
No, but it would work
Okay.
with the axe.
Yes, but I meant like to the point before about the +1. The crab hammer would work because
yes,
it's bludgeoning.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
What does Wave have for attunement?
Wave is attuned up too.
I think he has Velgard's Glory. Oh no, he has Velgard's Glory, Chill Plate, and right now he has the Sentinel Shield. But it is a very pat move to bail on the Sentinel Shield for.
Sentinel Shield's not attunement.
I thought it was.
No.
What's his third slot then?
Is his character
Let me see.
updated on this?
It should be.
Now that you're doing it. Nerd of Mercenary 1. I miss that.
Yeah. Me too.
Me 3.
He has the spell gem is the third one that he has.
Oh.
Yeah, he would definitely drop the spell gem for.
He would. It's Pat. He would drop the spell gem for the Ring of Protection.
Yeah,
because that was
right.
always Pat's MO, was to build his AC as high as possible.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So that would put his AC at a 22, which is a thing Pat would do.
But he wouldn't take a spell or the Ring of Protection over a 25 strength.
He might. He did all sorts of weird stuff with Ranrak to get higher armor class all the time.
Dude, you're not wrong. I feel like both of them are as Pat as the other.
Yeah.
But I really want him to do the Belt of Fire Giant Strength, because then it'll be like fire and water at the same time, man.
Yeah, but I also feel like upgrading Pat's character too much when he's not even here to play his character seems kind of like weird to me. I don't know.
No, you're not wrong. But like,
especially because we were also just talking about potentially having him like right after this is done, like him leaving. So then he's leaving with that.
I mean, it's what our characters would do in the moment. Like if Rick's not going to use it, then we would give it to Wave.
I suppose my talents are best served by being strong rather than intelligent.
Unless you wanted Ash.
I mean, Ash could wear it, but he's still a little funky about Clyde because Clyde lost the book in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair.
See, if I feel like the bib is the newest thing, and I feel like how often are you rolling 19 or 20 versus adding 4 more to each damage roll you do?
Yeah.
And then also grappling and all that other stuff.
Is the chainsaw considered slashing damage?
I think it is.
We could give Ash the bib.
There you go.
There we go.
Ash. Oh, yes, he does. Yeah. No, he already crits on an 18 to 20.
But he could re-roll his chainsaw damage once per turn.
That's true. He could
and
do
take
that.
the higher.
He doesn't really have any attunement items at the moment. I think just the chainsaw.
Two things. One, we should have asked a cleric to cast Regenerate on Wildfire so she could grow her fucking arm back.
Oh yeah, because she's gonna have to drop an attunement item if she wants to attune to the prosthetic.
Oh,
She did the wand.
Oh, the wand. That's right.
Yeah, we talked about it last time.
Yeah,
It's the one that adds the 1 fire damage.
Oh.
All
Yes,
right, I would get rid of the
You
bib
need an arm.
and take the belt. I like this bib.
I think you're gonna like the belt too, Rick.
I know, but it just now all of my good qualities are going to be fake.
You're still really strong.
Yeah.
I know, but now I'm.
Like
if
you
I
can
ever,
still run through rock. Like
You're still just as spiky as you've always been.
that's true. Rick eats a marshmallow.
Where did he find the
Oh, man.
marshmallow? You don't know.
He's got a lot of rations.
I was about to say, like, marshmallows
what
back
rations
when you
look
had
like.
to boil hooves for gelatin. That's a
Ooh.
Oh,
process.
they
That
were
is.
selling them in the city. I meant to give you guys some, but this one's
Oh.
my last one.
Can I have one? Oh.
Oh, here. No.
No. Why don't you keep? You can keep that one, Rick.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
And I toast it.
Oh, much better. Much better.
A little crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. That's my Jim Jam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your personality.
Yeah, actually, that's a great analogy.
You're like the best marshmallow.
Thanks.
You
I'm glad I could facilitate this moment.
you realize,
You guys are my best
Jake,
friends.
if you great weapon master, you're adding 21 is the static number before you roll a die with this belt on.
Yeah, that sounds right.
D12 plus a D6 plus 21 damage.
Oh. Yep. It's almost like I don't even need to roll damage anymore. I just do it.
I mean, yeah, even if you roll double ones, it's, oh no, 23 damage.
It feels like not a lot when you roll
I,
double ones, though.
oh, Oz is gonna give back the slippers to Rick, even just for comfort.
I do. I put them on.
And he's gonna attune these here winged boots if that's okay with Clyde.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can get the winged boots, and I'll give Wave the regular protection.
All right, cool.
All right.
Fuck, 25 strength.
What's your
Oh, you
athletics?
attuned me to it.
I did.
Shit, cool.
What's
thanks.
your athletics check right now?
Plus 17? Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all right, I
I'd
guess.
say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's funny because my second best check is a nature check for plus 9.
Really?
So I'm probably better at nature checks than Clyde.
You might be.
I mean, with the roll added in, definitely.
Oh.
One of the best
Not
things.
anymore.
Much later on, as a barbarian, there's a thing you can do. I think it's like at level 18, where it's like if you make an athletics check and it's under your strength score, it becomes your strength score.
Oh.
So that means your minimum athletics check would be like 25.
Wow.
That's great.
Mm.
Although
So-
37 is now my maximum strength check, so 25 is not so great.
Or 41 with guidance.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Such strength.
All right. So
And you just see Rick's muscles just like kind of go a little bit.
all right. Well, you guys are all queued up and ready to go. Let me just pull up Clyde's character sheet here.
Woo.
So you guys are all set to head out to teleport to the and she will first thing in the morning before you guys leave, she's gonna cast scrying on the cabin.
Oh, cool. That's a great idea of hers.
So
What did you find out?
she will tell you that surprisingly there's nothing there and it looks really quiet.
Sounds like a
Surprising.
trap.
And Ash is like, yep, pretty much.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
I don't know what else we're gonna do.
So I assume you guys teleport there.
Wah, 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 wah. That's what it
All
sounds
right.
like.
That's good teleport noises.
I thought
Yeah,
so.
it is.
All right, you teleport there.
Beam me down.
You are now with your dead, like eerily misty, quiet forest. The cabin looms menacingly in front of you.
Where's the
I'm-
shed?
I messaged to Rick. Phase 2, go.
Yeah. Do I see the shed?
You do see the work shed around the side and kind of to the back.
I run at the door.
Okay. Make me an athletics check.
We should have discussed how to distinguish us from them before getting into this again, just in case more Deadites come out.
I don't
Just
think there's a
don't lose
way.
eye contact.
Yeah.
I feel like they know everything about us. They can mimic our abilities. I don't think there's a way.
Fair.
All
Me
right,
and Clyde are gonna
I am going to invoke rage before I do this.
Okay.
eyes.
Well, fuck me. That's 2 2s. So a 19.
It's sufficient to blow the wooden rickety door off of the wooden rickety work shed. And you go flying through the door, crashing into this work shed. And there's a clanging, and it echoes so loud through this super quiet forest as you're smashing into what must be tin cans and all sorts of very clangy things. There's wind chimes on the ceiling.
Does Clyde have silence?
She doesn't have it prepared. If she does,
No.
and I don't think she does. I don't think you can get it as a druid.
I wasn't sure.
She's like, I could have cast Pass Without a Trace on us, literally for free. Whoops.
Next
Well,
time.
your roll, Ted.
And then
it's playing a character, Celine. I knew that from the start.
I am going to, with my new winged boots, fly over Rick and search this area for a book. Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and make a roll.
What kind of a roll?
I guess perception check.
Right. Oh no, I rolled a 9, but it's a reliable 22.
This is fun.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see any book from the outside as you crash. You're looking at this work shed from above.
Okay.
Or were you flying into the shed? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm flying into the shed. He went through the door and then there was clangings and stuff. So I assumed he's going to take a minute to have to compose himself.
6 seconds.
Yeah. So I was going to fly in behind him so I can get over him and not have to deal with his spikes.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you don't see it right away as you come in there and look. You do see there's sort of a workbench there. On that workbench is a vise. There's some old rusty hand tools like a saw, a hammer, a sickle. There's a couple of glass bottles that have since been shattered. There are a couple of glass jars that have seemingly bits, screws, and nails and things. There is a very clear shelf with a black piece of fabric in front of it.
Okay.
And then above that shelf are a bunch of cans, maybe of paint or something similar to that.
Ooh.
And then what else is there?
At this point, I'm gonna call out to Wave, and I'm gonna say, Wave, guidance on Ash. Ash, get in here and help us look. Rick, get up and help me look.
I would like to investigate the shelf.
Okay, making an investigation check.
All right.
Wave will cast guidance. Ash will come running into the shed as well.
19.
The shelf with the fabric on it, or
Yeah.
it looks like a shelf with a piece of fabric on it, seemingly blocking something behind it. There may be something hidden behind this piece of fabric.
Aha! Seems like there may be something hidden behind this piece of fabric. And I say,
move it.
Okay. I do that, but with my feelings hurt a little.
Yeah. It's very...
Where to hurry? We're trying to get out of here in 15 seconds. Let's
You were
go.
supposed to be looking for stuff. This is your job.
I need help.
Move it.
All right, you do. And there's a white chalk outline of what looks remarkably close to the thing that Ash has on his hand.
Weird. Ash, your thing's here. Well,
And then you hear
your thing.
you hear the revving of a chainsaw and footsteps coming towards the front door. And then it's Ash. Comes in.
Help us
That
look for
makes
the weapon.
sense.
He will make checks as well. Outside, Wave, Clyde, and Wildfire, it is super quiet. And you hear, like, off in the distance, the sound of, like, trees falling.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the wind begins to, like, pick up. And, like, the leaves are swirling around.
It's getting spooky out here, guys.
Then you hear, like, it seems like it's coming closer and closer to you.
Guys, you here?
So Ash just starts like tearing through shit, and he's just got the chainsaw revving. He's just like cutting this work shit apart, like just
nice.
like taking down the boards, like half the wall, just like one of the walls falls out.
Oh,
While he
I'm down
does
with
that,
that.
I'm gonna search the like the under the bench, like the floor area. Really, my space, the down space.
Sure.
The
Go
bottom
ahead.
third.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and make an investigation check.
Now
What
that
were
you
you-
can fly, every space is your space.
That's true. Lucky.
What were you doing, Rick? You said something specific.
20.
Yeah, if we're
Okay.
taking this place apart, Rick is down with that.
Okay.
Gotta
With-
scoot our cabooses.
With a 20, you see there's like one of the floorboards looks to be like a little loose.
All right, I'm gonna try and using the warp blade as a lever, try and stab that in and yank it up.
Yeah, while they're kind of dismantling, tearing through stuff, you
Mhm.
you peel back this floorboard and there is like a cavity. It seems like it's there, well, I guess turned earth, like it was like something was possibly buried here at one point.
Okay.
But it seems like it's been undisturbed for a while.
All right, I'm gonna start digging under there with my hands.
Okay.
Guys, I found a hole.
Ah.
Or, sorry,
Good.
guys, I found a hole.
Good.
It's
All
a
right,
floor hole.
I'm gonna go outside.
Okay, you go outside. As this, sound is coming nearer and nearer towards you. You see everybody else is like getting ready, preparing.
I get ready too.
Clyde turns into a dragon,
Oh,
She's so ready.
fucking
into a green
cool.
dragon.
I'll get ready to attack if the thing seems harmful.
I'm ready to attack it, even if it doesn't seem all that harmful.
Does a 23 hit your armor class, Sean?
Yeah.
You're digging through the dirt and you feel something pierce your skin on your hand.
Oh no!
And you pull your hand back as a reaction. There's a head in there!
Ah!
And it's bit your hand and it's like...
Shit! Guys!
You will take 5 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, good sir.
5 points of necrotic damage.
No, we can't lose more limbs.
I'm gonna use lucky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a charge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use another charge.
Yeah.
And a different die.
I'm gonna use one last charge.
Okay, that's 3
This
charges.
is like me all over again.
And my last lucky.
Oh, God.
All right.
You still have charges.
How many?
5.
Oh my god.
One more.
I know how this feels.
One more.
Oh.
3 left.
Woo! All right. So that's a 18 on the roll. So that is a 20.
Wow.
Okay. You
Plus 2, guys.
you succeed on the save, but it's still clamped to your hand.
Okay.
You don't recognize it's like you don't know who this is.
I didn't expect to.
And he's just like, and it's like trying to talk. It's like,
I'm just
it's
gonna-
chowing down on your hand.
I guess I just try and hit it into all of the rusty shit on the wall.
Okay.
Like any nails or saw blades, just like, ah!
Go ahead and make me a strength based. You're proficient in it, so just like an attack roll, but using your strength modifier.
All right.
This is not a very finesse move.
No.
Get him.
That's gonna be
outta
a
here.
big old 9.
Well, the head's armor class is 10, so
Fuck!
he just like boom, and it like you just happen to hit like the wrong like the weak spot in the wood, and like the bench breaks, and it's just like
Yeah, I did
shit.
yell, I found one!
and yeah,
Ash is in there, right?
yeah, Ash is like, and it's like on your finger, and he's bringing the saw over towards your hand.
I guess, I mean, yeah, I let him, oh, fuck.
All right, let's hope
yeah.
he rolls well. Here we go. He will hit the head with the chainsaw. He did not roll a natural 1, so he doesn't cut your finger off.
Yeah,
Good!
roll
Or
for
your-
fingers.
Roll for fingers.
Don't joke.
3. Ooh.
He will deal.
Oh.
He will deal 11 points of damage to the head, and it's like kind of split down the middle, like
Okay.
a little bit, and it's still like chomping away, and it's like starting to split, and you can see the blood, and the blood spurts out like crazy into your face and his face. You guys are covered in blood. More blood than there should be inside a head. And then he's gonna attack it again. And he's gonna hit again. And he's going to like get it basically down, and now you're like at the point where you're watching the blade. It's like a precision kind of move, and like it's splitting the front teeth. Like you can see like, and then it just sort of like flops away on the ground, and they're just like head halves flopping around on the ground.
Good. Thank you. It wasn't in the hall.
And he's just like, he keeps looking around to try to see.
I'm gonna look with him.
Maybe it's under the head in the hole.
Ooh, maybe it's in the head in the hole.
I mean, why don't you check with your spikes? So if it bites, it just bites a spike.
Well, you went outside, so.
Yeah,
I thought you had it.
we didn't.
I guess I'll go back. What? I come back in. What's taking so long?
You see them both covered in blood and two halves of a humanoid-looking head on the ground flopping around.
I leave for 6 seconds.
I got a 23 on my investigation check to continue to look for the book.
Okay.
I'm
As
gonna
you
look in the hole.
Okay. You're looking around. Rick, you look in the hole. How are you doing this? You just like sticking your fist in there?
No, that didn't work very well at all last time.
Okay.
I instead am going to I'm gonna rip up some more of the floorboards.
Mhm.
So with my awesome strength.
Sure.
And then I'm just gonna man, it would have been cool if we killed the boulette, but we never did that. So we don't have the digging gloves.
Nope, you don't.
Yeah, so I'll just start fucking channeling my inner hedgehog and just start ripping up as much dirt out of that floor as possible.
Okay, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
I'm good at that.
In theory.
Established. In theory. 30.
Okay, yeah, you dig through using your armor spikes and your general spikiness, and you do come across multiple heads that are buried in here, and some other like limbs, but the limbs don't seem to be as active as like Wildfire's previously severed limb was.
Right.
And you're able to like sort of skirt around. The heads can't really do much if you don't put your hand in their mouth. They can't really do a whole lot to get you.
Fair enough.
And then eventually, as you're digging, you hit something that feels slightly different. Under the ground, softer than the dirt, but not like the resistance of skin and bone.
Okay. Well, I stopped going in at it like a madman, and I try and clear the dirt off of whatever this item is.
You do, and there's all these heads, like there's like 6 heads around you, and they're like, swallow your soul, like just like
Swallow
yelling it.
yourself.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand and try and grab the book.
Yeah, you as he clears it away, that is the book is there underneath the floorboards.
Ash, we found
surrounded-
your book. Let's get the fuck out.
And he's just like, all right. And you guys see, as you guys are running outside to find everybody else, you can, now where you guys are, the is getting louder. You can see, like, now you can actually see, like, trees beginning to fall, like, much closer. From the current vantage point, no. You can just see, like something big that's felling limbs and shit is making its way towards you.
What the hell is
And you
that?
guys come running out, and out comes Ash and everybody with the book. What's the plan?
I threw a
Clyde.
tree.
Yeah, Clyde. Tree time.
Clyde uses her dragon form for literally nothing, and then transforms back into Clyde to
That's
cast a
classic
spell.
Clyde.
Yep, to cast a spell for you all to transport via plants, and you do, and like everybody rushes through the tree just as this force, whatever it was, gets right close to the point where you could see it, but the tree closes and you don't get to see what it is.
Oh,
Ah.
Woo.
better to not know.
Ooh,
Ooh, that could have been bad.
that was
Well, that could have been
Terrible.
bad.
that was ugh,
All right.
scary for a
Ash.
moment.
All
You
right.
Took
found
so
your book.
long.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is great.
Ash, you could go home.
And he's like, yep, that's the plan. And he takes the book.
Okay, bye.
He's like,
I
it's
insight check that,
okay. Go ahead.
just in case it's not really the plan.
Is there
Sure.
anything else you need from us? Do you want to come?
18.
It seems like that's the plan.
All right, cool. I thought it was. I
You
just
need, like-
half a second was like, we just gave some guy we just met an evil book.
Do you need like ingredients for a spell or anything? Or
And he's like, no, it's just sort of just, I don't know. I'll look through it, and it kind of just happens.
Oh,
okay.
all right.
Should
That
we
sounds
watch
like the best
or
kind of
something?
magic.
He's just like, I mean, if you want to. Sure.
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 And then he will flip open the book, and he'll look through to a couple of pages, and he'll recite some words, all the words, every single little syllable correctly.
Ooh.
A Klaatu Verada Niktu, and he will transport, a portal will open, and he'll be like sucked up into the sky.
Well, that was different.
Yeah.
We should have gotten that apron back before we sent him.
Ah,
And he's gone.
Shit.
that's all right. You
well.
can use it.
All right. So Clyde.
Now what?
Maybe we can help you find your friends. I guess that's what we're
Um,
supposed to do.
I don't
Did
think we
they-
really have time for that
Did your friends match any of the descriptions that we read you in that prophecy earlier?
because we got that other place we could go to instead.
Which other place?
Yeah. Why don't
Summer.
Clyde? Why don't you come with us to the to the war room, for lack of a better term? Can she wait? Was that in the news section that only we can go to?
No, you can
They can go there.
you can access it. You can turn it off and on. Anybody can go to it.
Yeah.
You have
Okay,
the
thank you.
ability to turn it off and on.
All right. So yeah, lead Clyde to the war room. Show her all the stuff we have. The stuff we got from her search in the cabin. The stuff that was already here. The map of Yester Hill. And the map that brought us here to Sacomber. Like, this is what we're working with. This is the prophecy. Yeah, I mean, Misra led us to Ash, who led us to you. So now, I mean, like, trusting in the gods, I feel like you're going to lead us to the next part. Or if none of this sounds familiar, we can just go back to Evrand. We can show you our world and go from there if you're willing to help us save
We should
all
go straight
of
to
the world.
Yester Hill.
You guys have maps of all of the places, right? You have maps of Evrand. You have maps because you have all that there. I would assume. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Evrand, yeah. So she'll look through the list from like the prophecy again. And she says, well, I know, she tells you that she maybe knows like she showed you that she could become a dragon. So like it says also maybe also a dragon. So she's like, well, I could also maybe be a dragon. So I don't know if it's duplicative or not, but I could do that. She says, let's see. Hmm.
Now you said you know a guy who really likes dragons.
I do know a guy who really likes dragons.
Can he be a dragon?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen him in 30 or plus years. I don't even know if he's still alive.
No, he was a human.
Oh.
And she says, I mean, I kind of told you that I knew somebody that came from a place that no one really knew about, but it sounds like
Was he lazy?
Kind of. I don't know. He just kind of showed up and did stuff sometimes. But like he got banished back to that place because he made poor decisions. Like tried...
In a different timeline, we all look at Wave. In this timeline, we all look at Wildfire.
And she says, I don't know. And she says, I don't know where my friends are, so I don't know if they fit any of these other descriptions because I don't like. Some of these seem like they require people to die or fall or things like that, and I don't know what happened to them.
Aha.
All right. Well, Velgard, let's chit chat for a second. Clyde, would you mind if we had a little sidebar? We can discuss some plans.
Yeah.
And she says, I did. She said, and she'll also say, like, I kind of knew somebody that played music and stuff, so I don't know if that's someone. I don't know. That's a minstrel reference. I don't know.
All right. Who was that?
He was a guy who owned a shop not too far from here. Like a pawn shop, really. He played music.
What was his name?
His name was Rick.
Oh!
Hey!
Oh, right. God. I hope the prophecy doesn't have us pick up 2 Ricks. That's just going to get confusing.
Wait, can you imagine if there were 3 Ricks, though?
We go get the other Rick from our world and the Rick from this world.
See, the problem is I don't think we could get both Ricks from Evrand because I feel like both of them would look down on the other one. Like smart Rick would be like, other Rick's kind of a dumb, and like dumb Rick would be like, smart Rick's kind of a prick.
No, see, that's entirely false because I understand that my intelligence is completely fabricated just by this one magic item. So to sort of assume that it would be presumptuous of me to say that this granted intelligence makes me superior in any sort of way to any other person. I didn't work for this.
Sometimes I forget how smart you are. And for that, I apologize.
It's okay, man. I'd give you a hug, but I can't.
Appreciate that.
Also, as a reference,
fist bump.
Other Rick is smarter than regular Rick.
Yeah.
Like when he's not wearing the helmet.
And we get along fine.
Yeah,
that's true. Fair. I mean we could help Clyde. Yeah, so okay. So at this point, I feel like our move is to help Clyde get her friends if we still think she's part of the prophecy by divine intervention, then the prophecy names the 4 of us, so it would kind of stand to reason that it might also have a different group of adventurers, her and her friends.
So as you guys are discussing this, Clyde walks over to like one of the maps and she goes, oh, and she points to a map. And she points to an area and she goes, oh, so she goes, yeah, see this right? This is there, right here is there. And she
I run over. Sorry, Sean runs over and Oz meanders.
She points to and kind of like circles Toratel on your map of Evrand. She's this is where I'm from. She said, I don't know. I never really studied or paid attention, so I told everybody that I was from there, and no one cared to ask me more information. So I just told them there's trees and I was from there, and this is there.
Oh shit. We're gonna Oh no, this is great.
So we go back to there.
What? No, not yet. Well, okay. Maybe. But right before this prophecy shit started, we were gonna try and help the elves with the orc problem. Now we
Well,
have our
we did
inside
help them.
man. What's up?
We helped them.
Well, I mean, we helped that one group. We were talking about like going back to the city and trying to free it because no one ever leaves.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we were gonna try and take down the orc problem at the source. So
And
maybe
she sits and like she like kind of has that like that tick in her brain, and she's like she's trying, like it's almost painful, the memories there, and she's like yeah, I went home, and then I don't remember how long I was there, and I can't remember what happened when I was there, and I just and then I was here.
Maybe they couldn't repair your memory because it happened in a different dimension.
or maybe maybe she knows the reason why no one can leave Toratel.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe that whole thing is connected to why she can't remember.
Yeah, maybe like the knowledge is forbidden or something, and in order to leave Toratel, she had to leave that knowledge behind.
But she came here before and it didn't affect her.
Yes,
so maybe
but
that was
maybe
before
that wasn't
whatever
enough.
it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
Clyde, the name of your hometown is Tortel, from the continent of Evrand.
Ah.
That's where we're from.
Yeah,
We're
so you're from there too.
We're from there too.
We're
Everybody
also
will like
from
us
there.
here now.
Look at that. When I say, do you want to go back to your home? What emotions did that stir up?
I'll make an insight check.
Got it. +4.
+4.
Nice.
Insight. So reliable. 21.
It seems like there's like uncertainty and like maybe a slight hint of fear.
Okay.
But
All right.
she
Well,
kind of has that like that mental tick, like something's. She's really trying. It's almost like painful to remember, or she can't, or she's trying to recall something that like. Think about trying, like, you know something and you know that you know it, but you can't recall it and you want to. And it's just like right there, almost in like what you can remember. And it's just like, you know, like when you have like, you remember for like the split second after you wake up, you remember like that really awesome dream you had. And then like every second that goes by, part of it slips away each time. And you're like, no, I know I had this. I know it was really cool. And then, like, you start remembering pieces of it.
The waterfall.
And then more and more and more slips away. And then to the point where you're like, shit, what was that dream about again? I don't remember. But it was cool. It's like that, but not cool.
All right. I interpret all that. Okay. Why don't, let's go find your friends here. And then I'll move over to the map that we got from the cabin, her map. All right, so you tried all these places.
Yeah,
do you
and she
remember
says,
where you were headed next?
She says, and she says,
we also found this poster, Flavo. Does that ring any bells?
And she's just like, it does, and she points to the map, and she points way far to the southeast, and she says, well, we knew there was something strange going on here in this town, and she circles a town on the map, and that town is labeled Flavor Town.
Oh, wow. Let's go there.
And she's like, no,
like your place.
no.
No, wait. It's
listen, no one ever leaves there.
We left there, now we're here.
That sounds like
Toratel.
Like Toratel.
Exactly like Toratel.
No one ever leaves there. And we were thinking about, me and my friends were thinking about maybe going there and figuring out why. But then we just didn't. And
maybe
then
that's where your friends went.
Your friends are exasperating.
Well, you have no idea. But they have such a good feeling about it. So I tried. Well, I was looking for them, and she like will point to a town labeled on the map that's labeled Red Larch, and she said that's where my one friend Rick was. That's where his shop was, but that town was completely destroyed and burnt to the ground.
Shit.
Oh shit.
So he's presumed dead.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
I mean, if he's part of your prophecy, he's there. We could go get him if you guys can bring people back from the dead. He's probably there amongst the wreckage. I mean, maybe they rebuilt the town. I don't know. I haven't. When I went there, he wasn't there.
Mm.
The town was still destroyed.
Okay. Well,
That was decades ago.
At
We'll keep
least
that in the
10
back
years
pocket.
ago.
Okay.
I don't know if he ever penned any rhymes, which seems like that might be a part of your prophecy.
That seems like a clue that we're not picking up on.
So there's that, and I maybe my friends went to Flavortown and dealt with everything there, and then that's all done, and now they are
Hanging out in
retired,
Flavor
and
Town.
everything's great. But
Well-
I don't really. I went to all of these places when I came back, but I wasn't in my right mind. Like I was
Okay.
just sort of like, I don't remember exactly what happened. I remember going to these places, but sort of being out of it and not being able to really like I couldn't really articulate things very well, and I just wasn't myself, so I couldn't really ask people too many. Like it just seemed hard to formulate thought.
Okay. How about this? Where's the last place you were with them?
And she says something. Hang on. Jeez. This was. I don't remember. Did she go? I don't think Clyde did any of the things the second go round with Dwayna at the Seductive Alchemist. I don't think so.
She was the last game she
I
played.
left after the tournament at Zookville.
Yeah.
All right, so she says Zookville.
Why don't we start there? We can ask how many years it's been. I don't know. There was. If you can remember something that happened the last time you were around,
Yeah,
we can
what
get a
happened when
sense
you were
of how
there?
long they would be gone, and then we could ask if anyone's heard from Flavortown, so we can find out if they took care of that.
Yeah, it sounds like a decent plan.
Okay.
What's
She
the
says.
Zookville?
She says, "Yeah, it's a town, not too far from here, that was created by some legendary heroes that stopped, a cult of evil cultists from taking over the realm.
Nice.
And they built this whole town. They bought the land from a destroyed town, and they built it there. And it's just like there's so many taverns there. Like
Is the food good?
the food is pretty good. Like there's 20 taverns there.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Damn.
let's go.
That
Let's
sounds like
start
a-
going. Do you
And-
know a
What's it
tree
called?
nearby that we could go to?
And she says I'll have to think about it, but I might. No, and she's like they have a fighting pit there.
Nice.
And she's like, oh yeah, I was a part of a tournament, a big like fighting tournament where people came from all over the place to
Like
try their
this?
best.
The belt?
That was one of them, yeah. And then she's like, this was from the 98th tournament.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
weren't the belts marked?
Yeah,
with
they were
which
marked.
tournament? So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we could just find out what year this tournament was, and then we'll know when your friend, like when you left your friends.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, that makes
Easy peasy.
sense. And she says, yeah, there's also a big museum from all of the legendary heroes and things there.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, before we leave, I want to take Clyde over to her cave lick drawings and be like, "Hey, do you want to talk about this?
which part
This-
are you
Just the
specifically?
whole thing." I was going to say, this is something that you drew several times when you were when we found you.
And she says, "Yeah, these are my friends."
Okay.
Aha.
What about?
Yes,
And then I'll
lady
go over to the
and
question mark and be like,
Flint.
"Who's this?"
And she goes, "I don't know. There was a third guy there, but it seemed like he was always changing."
Okay. What about?
Oh.
And then I'll point over to the dragon. What about this? Who's this?
Oh, this was Flint's friend, Ferdinand. He was kind of a dragon. He really didn't understand how to raise wildlife, and I'm no help. So
Obviously.
it just went poorly. And it turned out, I think, fine. He couldn't really talk like dragons can. He was special in a good way.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh.
And you, Flint, you looked at both Rick and myself and said Flint a bunch.
And
Yeah, you
he's
pulled
like
up my ear.
he was Flint is he was my friend. He liked Mistra a lot, the dwarf.
Oh, who doesn't? He seems pretty great.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his deal. He was
And
always
then-
positive.
Your lady friend with a beard?
Yeah, it wasn't always a lady friend. It was my friend Theron. He was a paladin of Ilmater, and one
And
point,
then I'm gonna point over at Wave.
and
Yeah,
Wave's
he's
just like,
Ilmater.
totally Ilmater. The other ones too.
all three of them.
And she's just like, yeah, he was a guy, but then he put on a cursed belt and became a lady.
Ah, that
Oh.
sucks.
I
Kinda
wondered
kinda
how
like
other
the-
half lived.
Kind of like the one that you're wearing, but a little bit different.
Ah, man, if I turned into a lady, I'd have been pissed.
Yeah,
That would
Let's see
not
how
have
the other
flown
half lived.
well.
there's nothing wrong with being a lady.
I need you to
Yeah.
roll me another
No,
percentile, or a d29 rather, Celine.
I don't want to have to take off my pants to pee.
Yeah, it's a bother.
So that's the line. I would never want to be a girl.
All right. I mean,
17.
every man has a line in the sand.
Yep.
You find a quill that makes your writing appear like it's being written in blood.
Oh. All right, thank you.
Cool.
Mhm.
Ugh.
So I guess let's head over to Zookville.
Okay, so you guys will, she will recall or attempt to recall a tree. And she does.
Nice.
And she will cast out of a higher level slot, transport via plants, and you guys will teleport through a tree to Zookville.
Nice.
To outskirts of Zookville.
All right. I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ah. See? Oz, so much easier. Oh, no, he takes a while anyway. You know, this is honestly him. Anytime he has to go to the bathroom, like, here we are, we're starting our day up. Everybody's had breakfast. Everybody's done everything. Wave has put on his armor, which takes like fucking forever. And then he's like, oh, I have to pee. And it's like, all right, fine,
Well,
do what you
he's-
gotta do.
He's so little. He has a little bladder. He's got to go a lot.
I don't think that's true. I think he just likes to wait until it's time to leave. So he could just not take as much time.
Oh.
We
do
travel
you mean?
less. We travel less during the day because of his bathroom breaks. But I think he just like sits there.
Just
afterwards.
like wasting time. Like he's
Yeah.
pooping. Sit there like he's pooping. Maybe that's why. he
No,
took-
just like sit there like after he's done pooping and just waits
Oh.
for like just like reads, I don't know, the back of a piece of bark or something.
Oh. I didn't know one could do that.
One can if one is desperate to not adventure.
Gotcha. He doesn't seem to enjoy it.
So anyway, how was your piss?
Delightful. Thank you.
Good. Oh no, that was in character. You went to pee.
Oh, yeah, it was good. It went on a little too long. Like sometimes when you're like, enough already. You know, it was one of those.
Ah.
Of course it was. Gives Rick a knowing look.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Let's go.
All right, cool. Let's go.
All right, so
What
you guys.
does Zookville look like?
So it is a square design town with like palisades all around the outside, massive Not really. I guess palisades implies more wooden structure. This is a stone kind of wall, maybe 10 feet thick by like 25, 30 feet high, surrounds the entire town. There are 2 gates on the east and western side. When you enter into Zookville, there is a stretch of road, a central road that heads down the middle and kind of goes out the other side of the gate. In the middle is a founder's statue depicting the heroes who founded the town.
Okay.
And you see there is a gnome and a gnome wizard and a half-elf paladin, a dragonborn fighter, a dwarven cleric. God, am I missing anybody? Oh, a tiefling warlock, and that's really it.
That is it. That is the end of that list.
And then you can see there is several different buildings all around. There is a big arena, kind of in the northern section, a circular, massive arena, which assuming is where the tournaments take place. There's a massive barracks with trained up forces, and then there is, let's see, the other Orc Tavern, the Fire Brewery, Smokies. Was this there's a place for puppet shows.
Ooh.
There is a bar called Sammy's, a bar called Coral's, a bar called Raphael's, a bar called Squeaks, a bar called Thunderwave, a bar called Praise Be, a bar called Rosebud. There's a big town hall, a stable in the back. There's a bar called the House of Illusions. There is the Founders Museum. There is a bar called the Enclave. There's a temple to Mialiki. There is a house that was for one of the founders that has an adjoining building that is for training, wilderness survival training. A bar called Bosco's, a bar called Carousel, a bar called Archybark, a bar called Dragon's Bane, a bar called Gauntlet's Rejects. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. There's the Advisor's Abode, which is not a tavern. There is Hobbled, which is, I think, yep, that's another one. Twin Slayers is another one, and then there is the Balthazar's Arena, and inside Balthazar's Arena is the BA Tavern. And then in the kind of northeastern corner is a big open air area that is reserved. That is the Stormvale Flea Market.
Oh.
The Stormvale Flea Market.
Yep.
Why don't we
That's what this town was called before it was destroyed and renamed Zookville. It was called Stormvale.
Aha.
So why don't we go to the Sage's advisory board or whatever? We need advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Or we could go to the arena and look at the belts.
Oh yeah, we can do that
Yeah.
too. All right, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that first.
Just so we could go with as much information as we can to
Yeah,
the
makes sense.
Sage's advisory board.
Okay, so
Good thinking, Rick.
a team.
You guys go to Balthazar's Arena, and you go inside, and you can see all the signage and things for the different tournaments that have happened over the time. And you can see some belts have remained here. Others, they're not always here for people who took the belts and left. And it does have a bracket of everybody who won over all the years. So you can see like 98 and 99 is Dwayne the Rock Johnson is the winner for both of those. 100 is Lady Nunya is the winner for that.
Yeah.
And then what you see is you can see that there's been here since that, which is the one that Clyde will tell you that she is she had attended, that there have been, since the 100, there have been 49 additional tournaments.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, are they annual?
They are, and it's funny that there is information here about the 150th tournament that
Cool.
is only 10 days away.
Only
Ooh.
10 days?
Uh-huh.
That's 30 days.
That's 30 whole days.
We get so much done when we're doing
Clyde,
And she's like, yes.
what was the format of this tournament?
Single elimination, one-on-one tournaments, breakdown, no losers bracket, single elimination, no holds barred, magic spells, magic items, whatever necessary. When it got towards the end of the tournament, certain things were added to make things more interesting. There were instabilities added towards the latter half of the bracket to break things up a little bit. Townsfolk were protected by a magic bubble to not allow any magic errant items or weapons or things to escape out into the crowd.
Cool.
And then, yeah, that was basically it. Winner gets the belt and then also a commemorative magical tattoo.
Ooh.
Eh, never mind. All right, let's move on.
Wait, no, that sounds great. I feel like I would do very well in that.
Yeah,
And she said you'd be surprised. It was some people won by force of arms. You can also forfeit as well, is a means to cause people to lose. Someone can forfeit willingly.
I forgot about that.
And one person in the 100th tournament just used a mind-affecting spell to force the opponent to surrender. And then they immediately lost.
Ah. Well, if that didn't happen to me, I'd do well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, what am I gonna do? You know?
That's hide.
Yeah. Great tournament watching.
Yep. Nothing like
One
hiding
guy
in a
looking
big
for
open
another
arena.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, and she's like, well, it's
Advanced
a circular arena with just like a sand pit in the middle, so there's not really a lot of places to hide.
Hide under the sand.
I mean, I guess
No,
you could do that.
I don't want
yeah.
to do any of that.
You
All right,
could just
cool.
watch. I mean, you wouldn't have to do it.
So it's I know, but like
It's also 30 days
you're
away,
right.
and the world is kind of ending. So
Yes. If we have time,
Also, we have that
a
slight
quick cup of coffee.
that slight grand larceny that we have to do.
Yeah, okay. That's in a completely different dimension than we're currently in. So
Yeah, but like we also have the time crunch, and around 30 days is when I wanted to do it, because once your ring is regenerated, because that's our exit strategy. Remember?
And she will
Yes,
also say
yes.
there is the legendary Zookville 20 Tavern pub crawl, which no one has ever completed.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
well,
okay.
we're doing that, but like first, I think we need to figure out the whole Flavor Town thing, and then ask about your friends and see if anyone knows anything where they went from here. Maybe we could track them that way.
where do we go from here?
I mean, it was 49 years ago, so I doubt it, but we could try.
I'm feeling it.
Hmm.
So it's worth it. Maybe
I mean,
maybe I have a good idea. So Clyde, you said that your friend Theron was wearing a belt from this tournament.
Yeah, but she didn't win it.
Right. Doesn't matter. Because maybe we can track the belt specifically through magical means.
Maybe.
Or fuck, I don't know.
That's a great idea.
That's a good idea.
I'm just chock full of them.
I mean, my usually when I try and tackle stuff like this, I call Dad, but I don't think I could do that from this universe.
No.
Well, we could go back to Waterdeep.
We could always pop back to see Alyssa.
She's been
Always.
wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like we should give her a break from us. Like we're a lot.
All right, maybe there's a wizard here that can help us.
Yeah.
This looks
Or
like
we
a
can talk to
wizard
the
kind of
elder
place.
people and see if they know anybody.
Yeah.
Chad, is Larenther still alive?
No, he would not have made
No.
it this far. He didn't suffer any downsides to old age, as that was part of his. When you get to be a certain level in Oath of the Ancients Paladin, you don't suffer negative side effects to old age, but you still die when your time is up. So I think he was almost like 150 when you guys met him.
Yeah, he was old.
And it's been 49 years since. And that's like super old for half elf. I think like 150 is like, that's like the end, towards the end of the lifespan. Maybe 175, but like that's
Fair
a lot.
enough.
He doesn't live a very clean living life, I guess, towards the end there. But yeah, no, he did not make it.
All right, so let's go to some kind of town official or the elder's place. Let's go somewhere with old people who know shit.
Yeah.
All
Sounds
right.
like playing.
The antique poop store. To old people
Silly
who know
Billy.
shit.
Yeah, I got it.
I know.
Okay, so you guys are heading in the we'll say you're coming in from the west gate. And you guys are just there was God, what the hell was it? There's also a brothel in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I can't remember I have an acronym for the brothel and I don't remember what it stood for. So
What's
What's
the acronym?
WHT's brothel?
Internet, what is it?
No, it was I think it was
Oh, what's her tits?
That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, what's it tits?
That's what it was.
That's fun.
Good times. Good times.
You know, what's her tits?
Yep. Anyway, so you guys head into
I'm gonna go pee real fast.
Do it.
okay, so you guys head into the town and you're heading for the advisor's abode.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And I'm just confirming that isn't actually a tavern because it might be.
If it is, we'll get some drinks and then go look somewhere else.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. No. It is not. It is actually the advisor's abode. So whoever the town advisor is at the time.
All right, cool. We knock.
And you hear some rustling inside as someone makes their way. Someone makes their way towards the door. And
Sal?
yeah, Sal is here. This is where he went. He left and he came here instead.
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
Hey.
And a tiefling answers the door.
Hi. Is it male or female?
It is female.
What
hi.
color?
Red.
Okay. Well, makes sense.
Hi, ma'am. We're travelers from far away. We were hoping to ask a couple questions about the history of the town and very specific questions you're probably not gonna have the answer to, but like we're trying.
This is our first stop. So any even general information would be
Yeah.
very much so appreciated.
And she says, sure. All right, come on in.
What's your name?
Her name is standby. Let me make sure I did get a chance to flip to that page. Crap. That's not her name. I just can't. We're trying to find out. Damn, I thought I wrote it down in here.
What is her name?
Samimothy.
Definitely not Samimothy.
Ah, it's close.
Karen.
No, her name is not Karen.
Ah, that's all I got.
Stacy.
No.
Anastasia.
Esmeralda.
All right, guys, easy. I'll get it. Just give me a sec here. I think it was. I want to say it was Tisha. I want to say is her name. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Well met, Tisha. I am Oz Greenbottle of the Vale Guard. These are my Vale Guardians. And Clyde.
The Vale Guardians and Clyde.
And she's like, I think and she's a little bit older. She's maybe in like her 50s. Hard to tell though, right? Tieflings, you never really know.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, I think I remember you. She says,
No, that's impossible. This is my first time here.
not you.
Oh.
Actually, no. I guess she'd be more in like no, she'd be more in her the
70s.
70s or 80s. Yeah.
Mm.
And she's like, no, and she's pointing to Clyde.
Oh,
And she's like,
Clyde?
yeah, I think we met when I was a lot younger, like 49 years ago, roughly, if I had
Wow.
to put a number on it.
That
Yeah.
is roughly a specific number.
Maybe
Um,
50-ish years ago.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we have some general questions and some specific questions. Generally, so 50 years ago when Clyde was here, one of the prevailing things about Flavor Town was that everyone who goes, like, no one comes back. Is that still a thing? Or is Flavor Town like liberated? Air quotes.
Oh no, it's still the same, and in fact, there's been talk of more and more dark things coming out of there and spreading out and destroying more and more things, around the realms.
Oh shit! Someone should have taken the care of that 50 years ago.
Yeah, apparently, some of the groups, the not so savory types from there, were on a mission to take several people take some people out. They had sent a strike force to destroy Red Larch because some people who were on the right trail used to go there a lot, and they just killed everyone there.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay.
And Clyde's like,
All right. Well, okay. So right around then, do you remember any? Oh fuck, man. Where do we go from here, guys? Shit.
I don't know.
I guess. All right. So bad things, strike force. So your friends probably didn't take care of it. Ooh. Where did anything else get destroyed?
the one of the taverns, some asshole kid from Waterdeep blew it up with a fireball and murdered a bunch of innocents.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And then just ran.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. No, I meant more like the strike force took out the entire city of Red Larch, town of Red Larch. Were there rumors of anything else being destroyed around the same time? Sorry. my
Like in
question
the
was kind
world.
like, were there other cities that were destroyed or towns that were destroyed?
A remark.
Yeah, shortly after that, a strike force went to Phandalin as well to try and take out Phandalin. Definitely, there were some casualties there for sure, but they were able to. A couple of folks that were there managed to stave off some of the assault, but most of the people that were there fled to safety.
Jeez.
Okay,
away from there.
That's something we could check.
And then, there wasn't too much other than that. It seemed like that group that was kind of on a rampage to take out, whoever was on this, they were seemingly on some sort of vendetta against a specific group of people.
Okay.
And then that group, I guess, apparently just disappeared. So the attacks stopped.
Is there any sorry, you go, Rick.
Yeah, no. Do you have any information on like where or when they disappeared?
No, we just know that like the general consensus is, don't get too close to Flavor Town, as things are not just contained within the city's borders. They've started to spread out from there. But once the kind of strike forces stopped appearing in places and demolishing things, no news is good news.
Okay. Is there any rumors on who the people getting close were?
She's gonna make a check, but first I need Rick to roll me a D42.
Woo woo!
And I need Celine to roll me another D29. You are popular tonight.
Nice.
Thanks, internet.
Celine, you're always popular.
No.
You're always one of my
Nice.
top
30.
3.
That cannot be said for most of my life. 22.
22. All right. And a 30 for Rick. That's the grapevine, Celine. Roll again.
21.
You already have the thing that lets you see underwater? No.
Yeah, the eye.
Yep, okay, yep, you got that. Go ahead.
Yep.
Again.
I'm gonna need a new list. 17. Isn't that the one I just got?
Yep. I need to expand this list quite a bit.
11.
Thunderpants, already got those.
It's another 22. 7.
Do you have the glasses that make you look smart?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so Ted, how about you go through and like pick out the ones that I don't have, and then I roll that as a die.
Well, I don't know which ones you don't have. So.
Or all right. Well, we should like cross off the ones that I do.
But it's not
What's
just
the
for...
highest number? 29?
Yeah.
How about that one?
Sure.
Yeah, just give me one.
You have a vial of the world's finest glitter, sealed with a cork labeled "Do not open."
Babyface Celine would love it.
I want to open it.
And Rick, you said a 30. Oh boy, that is... I forgot word in there, which makes it very hard to... Alright. So you have a handmade dagger with a blade of grayish unmelting ice.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, so that was happening.
Doesn't melt at all.
No. Unmelting.
I touch it to wildfire. And then I touch it to the chill plate.
It sticks to it.
I try and pull it off.
Make me an athletics check versus Wave's athletics. Well, he rolled pretty good.
Okay. Wait a minute. I had to go to a special site to roll a 42-sided die. Natural 20, 37.
Yeah, you pull the blade off of his armor. And you also, like, it's fine and repairable, but you actually manage to rip the leather attachments that hold the front part of the breastplate to the back part of the breastplate for the plate, and you actually rip the whole, like, you rip the blade off, but the sheer force pulls the front part of the chill plate off, so then the back part falls off and the rest of the armor kind of falls away.
I'm a blacksmith. I can fix that.
I mean, it's a leather strap. I can just mend it with mending.
Oz, that's what I said. I said, I'm a blacksmith. Oz can fix that.
I misheard you. That's a very good idea. And then I cast mending on it.
And when you're talking about this, Clyde's like, it might be my friends. We spent a lot of time in Phandalin and a lot of time in Red Larch. And we did anger some people. We found this thing, like this tattoo, this piece of skin was from a group that was associated with them. And we were really entangled in a bunch of stuff, but it never really seemed to bother us too much. Like, we fought those guys, sure, and they took over a small town and shredded our magic carpet. And then we ran away from that town. And then we sent our good friend who was really, really strong and kind of a hard-ass jerk to go murder them all, and he did. And they brought us that piece of skin. And then we were like, yeah, we should probably go see what's going on. These people are attacking. Like, there's this group. And then we're like, let's forget that and enter a tournament instead. And then I left.
Oh, okay. Do you, ma'am Tisha, do you remember, you vaguely remembered my, our new companion Clyde here. Do you remember who she was traveling with?
Yeah, there was a lady, with really long hair. And there was a dwarf with a leprechaun hat and some weird dragon.
Cool.
And then there was the punk-ass noble from Waterdeep who blew up the tavern and murdered a bunch of innocents.
You wouldn't happen to have him in a jail cell somewhere, would you?
No, he used all of his magic to get away as far as he could when he realized that he murdered people. Thankfully, between the amount of high-level heroes in the tavern at the time who survived, they were able to quickly bring back everyone who died, so there was no loss of life, thankfully.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's great.
But he ran, and he may still be running. I don't know. He was an elf, so he could still be going.
Okay.
Oh.
What was
This is
his
I know
name?
this is a really weird question, but
Roland
now we're,
High Flame.
that doesn't sound like anyone on our list.
And
Oh.
Wave's like,
Mm.
no, that's a cool name though.
It's okay.
It's like High Flame.
You're like a rolling wave.
And he's just like, what up?
So Tisha, this is probably a dumb question, but do you remember where her companions went after this? Or did they talk to anyone? Would anyone know? I know it was a
No,
long time ago.
they were
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, I can't believe that guy. He just said booyah and laughed and then blew up a whole bunch of people. And then they were like, we should probably try to find him, but I don't know if we'll be able to. We should get out of here. We got that stuff we got to deal with. And then I don't know where they went.
Okay.
They didn't really talk to me. Like, I just happened to be in the tavern. We weren't really like, they didn't come here to talk to me. I wasn't the advisor then.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks for all of your help. Those are
Yeah.
all of the questions I had, unless you guys had something else for her.
No, not particularly.
Clyde, any thoughts?
And she's just like, Roland, that was his name. What
Is
a
that
prick.
question mark guy?
Is that question mark guy?
Oh, there was another guy before that.
All right.
He was the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who said he came from Limbo,
Oh.
but he's the one who got
Limbo.
banished back to Limbo because
Okay.
he tried to steal from people because he didn't like the way people in the town treated him. So then he thought he should steal from the patrons of the inn, and also got naked to do it. It was weird.
Okay.
naked
Do
theft,
you remember
bold.
what town that was?
Amphail.
All right. Well, if we decide that, I mean, is that one of your friends that you wanted us to find?
He got banished under some pretty powerful magic to stay there. So it seemed like he wanted to get banished because he made poor choices in a court of law.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we ever try and find him, we can
Yeah, we
go
might
back to
need
the
him.
Amphail courthouse and get his info that way.
Oh, he got tried in
Yeah.
Waterdeep.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, so we have options if we ever decide to look for him, but it doesn't sound like a guy who we would want on our team.
Yeah.
Unless he's that guy on your list that's the combatant from a place no one knows.
Ah,
Then,
shit.
then
All
we
right.
would definitely want him. And if we brought him to Evrand, then that wouldn't matter that he was banished from
Yeah. From here.
here. Because
Alright,
he would
well,
be there.
I guess we gotta
Exactly.
find out how to get to
He gets
Limbo.
it.
I think I've picked it up.
All right.
Uh,
Well,
Tisha, sorry to bother you with our little in-talking here. One final question. Do you have a recommendation for a powerful wizard who might be able to help us track a magical object?
Let me think. I have a powerful wizard who could help you track down a magical object.
Not necessarily a magic user of sorts. I'm
Well,
not.
and she
They're all
says,
wizards to me.
she says she says I'm not, I do have magic myself, but I just so you know, most magical, means for tracking specific objects does not extend a very long distance. Like a simple one that comes to mind immediately is a locate object spell, but that only works out to 1,000 feet.
Mhm.
question. Your
Answer?
the belts,
Mm.
the belts for winning the tournament.
Yes.
There's no way to like track them, is there? Like them specifically.
Again, a locate object spell would work, but that's a
Okay.
close range thing. She says here, let me think for a sec here. Let's find out. I don't know if you can do this. She says, yeah, I would think like a scrying only works on people.
Okay.
Or actually, I forgot you couldn't actually scry on a location. You could choose a location, yeah. So she's like, scrying works from a very long distance, but it only works on a creature. or a location. So that may help if that's something you can look into.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be something we could try. We could try scrying one of them, see where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need to find someone who scries. Clyde, do you scry?
And she said I did it yesterday or this morning.
Oh,
Ah.
why don't you scry your friends?
And she says I did, but I wasn't nothing came up. So I don't know if like
Um,
there's spells and magics and things you can do that prevent people from being able to scry on you. So I don't
Okay.
know if they were in a place where they couldn't be scried on, if they had to put on some sort of protection to prevent them from being tracked.
Did you try maybe scrying the dragon?
And she says, "Well, I mean, it would only make sense that he was with them because that's what they would
Did you
never
try
be.
it, though?
No, because they would be together. They were
Unless-
always together.
They weren't.
Well, unless they have like an item or something that protects them, and it's not on the dragon, maybe they're like they each found like kind of individual items for themselves.
Plus, that was 50 years ago. I mean, 50 years ago. What? A dwarf and a half elf? You said?
Yeah,
I mean, 50 years for a half elf's a long time.
she was like 18. So she would only be like 60 right now, and the half elf lifespan's like 150 years.
No,
cool.
So
Hmm.
Fair enough.
well, really in her prime at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And the dwarf would be fine. I mean, he was relatively young. Already had a daughter who was magical and with a demigod and was that whole thing.
oh, did
I've
you
got
meet
some
her?
kids.
Yeah, I think I did.
Can you scry her?
She's got demigod magic, so I didn't think. I mean, I didn't work when I tried it. I don't really know where I
Okay.
couldn't find her either.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's funny. I went back and I tried to scry on a bunch of people that I used to know, and it was hard for me to really access my magic after a while. Became
Okay.
harder and harder for me. Like I slowly became less and less able to access the higher level magic abilities that I had until the point where I was basically, where you found me and seemingly more animal than elf.
Mhm.
But when I was able to scry, I couldn't really find anybody that I would have normally attempted to find. I don't know what's going
Okay.
on.
Okay. All right, then I guess do you want to try and hit the other places on your map, the ones that you have already crossed off, but also never mind. Yeah, do you want to try things? Yeah, do you want to try some places on your map? Was there anywhere that you haven't gone to that you wanted to from your map?
She says I didn't go to Greymere Pass. That was pretty far north. We went up there one time and got some wands from a guy.
Hmm.
I didn't go all the way up there. That wasn't really like I didn't see any particular reason why they'd go back there. It was kind of just like a stop
Okay.
on like
Right.
our journey. But
Right.
We could try the. We could try. They mentioned that there might be some survivors in Phandalin. We could try Phandalin.
yeah, I mean that might work.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a cleric around here at that temple that we passed to Maliki. Yep.
Mieliki.
Well, I don't know. Now I do. I didn't before.
Okay.
When you read something, you can't necessarily pronounce it correctly.
Mhm.
Maybe we could get a similar spell done, like when we found Ash.
We could
Oh,
try.
Yeah. We could try that.
And she says, "Well, I could try to do that for you."
You could try to do that. Well, that would
Oh.
be fucking fantastic.
She says, "Yeah, my dad made that temple for Mieliki, and I trained as a cleric there.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So let me
nice.
see. Let's see if I can. Let's see what I can do here." And she's gonna make a divine intervention roll,
Cool.
All right. I have a good feeling about this.
and she's just like, "Huh," and Clyde's like, "See, you get it." That is a 79. So
Ah.
She tried.
she did not make it to level 20 cleric. So
Damn. All right.
you don't really adventure and you live in a small town. You don't compete in a couple tournaments, sure, but you don't get that extra XP.
Is there like a because where we come from, which is there, when we go there, there's a couple places that have really good libraries. So whenever we got stuck in our previous adventures, we were like, let's go to the library.
She's like, yeah, there's Candlekeep's the largest library in the realms. It's not too far from here, further southwest from here, along the coast. It's a pretty massive library. So it's actually the biggest library in the realms. So that would be a place to start.
So there might have wizards there that might be able to help us.
Potentially, yeah.
Aha.
And amass collected knowledge.
See, so that's good. And then
I mean, it seems as good a place to start as any. I mean, Clyde,
Yeah.
did you ever
go there?
Did you and the boys and the girls ever go there?
She says, I didn't. I left before we went there.
Wait,
but
were
they were planning on.
They were
going
planning
there.
on going there?
No, she doesn't know that.
Okay.
She's like, I left
So,
before we
we'll
ever
retcon
went there.
that.
Yeah, we'll retcon that. I don't think she knew that was a plan.
Also,
All right.
I mean, Rick, what would we even look up?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe there's a way to track an object even though it's not like close with magic. I don't fucking know, man.
I don't know, man.
But if there was a place where someone might know how to track an object from a further distance, then that sounds like that might be the place. This belt is the only thing that I can think of where like that's a concrete item.
Yeah, you're right. But if they have magic preventing us from scrying them, we probably wouldn't be able to locate the
maybe
belt
we
on
could
them.
maybe we could find information on how to get around certain scrying protections or something.
The power of knowledge.
All right, we can do that.
Or I also still vote to go to Yester Hill.
I don't think we should go to Yester Hill yet, man. I feel like we're on a hot lead. We got. This is where we're supposed to be. We're not just. We shouldn't just bail and go somewhere else.
Sean just wants to find Flint.
Oh no!
No, Sean doesn't want to go to Barovia. So
I want to go to Barovia.
I have
That too.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Also, Sean doesn't know who we're looking for in Barovia yet, so he doesn't and he's not gonna figure it out before we get there. So I want to look for the people who I know we're looking for. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Rick puts out that we could go to the other place instead.
Yes, and Oz says, "No, we're on the right track. I feel it in my bones."
Ah, you got that prophecy juice going.
I
That's
do.
fair.
Well, I've always been a polytheist, but I've been keeping it on the down low. And now that we've helped multiple gods and goddesses from being overtaken by their other, I got my prophecy juices.
Yeah, you're a prophetheist. All right, let's go find a nice place to drink.
All right, let's go.
Wait. But first, where are we? What's our plan? We can't start drinking yet. What's the next step?
I was gonna drink until I thought of it. You said we have a hot lead. You literally just said we got hot leads.
I said we're on the right track. That's different.
You also said we had a hot lead.
We do. We're on the hot lead.
Yeah.
But what is it?
Lead right to the best bar in town. Hey, Tisha, what's the best bar in town?
Oh, she says that's like blasphemy here. You don't say which one's the best one. They're all the best one.
Oh, I like that.
That sounds like a place to
Each
go
one has a different drink, and in some cases a different gimmick. And if you're gonna start the pub crawl, you gotta let them know at the first one that you're gonna start, and then you finish your signature drink from that bar, and then you go to the next one, and you can't stop because once you start, you gotta finish all of them, or you're disqualified. And you can't pass out, and you can't throw up. If you pass out or throw up, you're out.
All right.
And I can't tell you what you get if you win because no one's ever done it.
Aha.
Only one way to find out. Why don't we leave Tisha alone?
Yes.
All right. Tisha, thank you very much. Here is the donation to the town in the form of 75 gold.
All right, and she says, "Thank you very much." And I think that's where we'll end the stream for tonight.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Alright.
All right, so thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you
Yes.
next week.
Bye.
You got it. All right, love you, internet.